singing that song.
Take me on.
That song I'll sing.
Take on me.
Take on me.
Take me on.
Take on me.
I'll be gone.
Oh, that halftime beat though. Oh,
I'm so glad you interjected when you did.
man. Are we live yet?
Yeah.
Were we live for those sick beats?
Yeah.
Sick beat.
Of course we were.
Isn't that what the kids are calling it these days? Sick beats?
Fucking. You know what really bothers me? And I'm sorry, I cannot let it go.
Tell
I'm
us.
a trained musician. I gotta be a music snob. When people are like, "Oh yeah, I love that song. It's got a good beat," and I'm like, "What you actually mean is it's got a pleasing rhythm." You motherfucker.
You know what
No,
gets...
but what they're talking about the beats that they're wearing, though, bro.
Yeah, maybe that's
It's
it.
got a good beat.
Or you know what? Maybe they're just really into the time signature.
Mate, that's in prog circles we're like,
You know, it's just like, oh, fucking love me some 4/4.
and then us prog snobs are in the corner are like 4/4.
PM.
I remember playing in 4/4 when I was a child.
Look.
Ooh.
Listen, mate.
What?
Listen, mate.
I played
Listen.
4/4. Look, it's fine. 4/4's
It's
good.
it's 8:17 or nothing.
That's not even a valid time signature.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, fucking love me some 4/4.
We're getting some echoes. Someone
Yeah,
playing through their
I'm echoing.
speakers.
Might be me.
Harrisburg.
I was gonna
Little
say,
too
it's,
loud, mate.
it's not me because I got my headphones on.
Yeah. It can only be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worked every other time. Did you just have them a bit louder?
Look. there can be only one. It's just like that movie where, oh, who was it? Was it George Clooney? Was like a Highlander, and he was trying to kill all the other guys, and Andy Garcia was trying
Yeah.
to stop him and become more powerful.
He met Andy Garcia in a church, and they didn't want to fight in there. Did
I
anyone else
lost
just lose
it, by the
Jeb?
way.
No, he's still there for me. He's just really junky.
Yeah, he just dropped out for me
I
entirely.
lost it.
The Roll20 is doing a fantastic job the last couple of weeks. It must be
Alright,
said.
I guess I'll refresh.
Everyone,
Oh no.
Refresh.
Wait.
Refresh,
Huh?
Yeah.
refresh.
Refresh.
Alrighty.
Wrecking it back.
Jeb, are you back?
Okay.
Cool.
That was fun.
Talking away.
What were we talking about?
know
Now I forgot what we were
I'm
talking
to
about.
say, I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you.
Shining away.
Are you still playing Rocket League?
Love okay. That's like the best part. It's the quick okay. It's like not even a fucking question.
Eh.
Yeah, the map's not. Oh, there it goes. Fucking map
There
was
it
taking
goes.
forever to load for me. That high resolution, bro.
Hi, Rez.
That early backer map, bro.
There's a high-res version? Oh, that one.
Yeah, man. It's like 80 million pixels. Yes.
It's a
I
minimum
don't
unit.
remember how many pixels.
Did you
it is,
count
but-
them?
I actually had to downsize it to upload it here because Roll20 is like, oh my god, her res, please, no.
How big was the original file?
Several megabytes.
Okay.
I don't remember. Look, you're asking too many questions.
You're a GM,
5.6
shouldn't you be able to
meg.
answer them?
Okay. It's
It's
like nothing.
5.6 meg.
I got thumbnails bigger than that.
Are you serious?
No.
No.
I
They
don't
have.
think so.
They can only be a maximum of 2 meg to be uploaded.
That's right. Those cogs were just starting to turn as you said that.
Look, maybe the raw unrendered files are like 8 meg.
I was like, hang on, I've made a YouTube video before.
Really?
Yeah, once or
You did?
twice.
Okay. Link me your channel, bro.
Nah, it's pretty shit. It's
Okay.
mostly just re-uploads from more popular YouTubers.
And reaction videos.
Yeah. Dude, I saw some reaction channels. They got so many fucking views. It's such bullshit. And I'm gonna say literally, they literally sit there with their face and then the video
Yeah.
in playback,
Mm.
and they talk about the video.
Yeah.
You should not have views.
It's fucking easy mode.
There's one that I found that's based purely on basketball reaction videos.
It's so disgusting.
Troy Dan reacts.
That might be funny.
Why do
though.
people watch it? What is it like?
And I think he does one watching an AFL highlights package
Huh.
of like big hits and stuff, and he's got no idea what's going on, but then somebody just clotheslined and he's, whoa!
Classic.
Yeah.
But look, here's the
Classic
thing.
Americans not understanding
Like-
AFL.
Unboxing videos, I can almost understand because there's actually a psychology and there's been research behind why people like them. Like there is a reason why people like unboxing videos, but why do people like watching reaction videos? Is it just to reaffirm their own opinion?
Yeah, they want.
Probably.
Yeah, that's exactly. There's a word for it, but I can't remember what it is.
Self-righteousness.
No, that too. That's also why people watch reviews. It's like
Re-emphasizing
all
their
the
echo
comments
chamber.
on reviews are people who already have the product.
Yes.
Is it called denial bias?
It might be.
Confirmation bias?
Confirmation
Confirmation.
bias
Yeah, that's
too,
the
yeah.
one. Yeah.
And it's referred to as one's echo chamber as well when you only
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to the opinions of.
Also known
those
as
who
circle
agree with you.
jerk.
Yeah, that's also
Also known as every anti-vax group ever.
known as oh my god, potatoes.
Also known as
Yeah.
llama.
Llama, 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 llama.
This is pre-show. Nothing can be lamed except for llamas.
Llama, llama, llama.
Are you both drinking ciders right now?
No.
Yep.
I'm the only one that's not alcohol right now.
I need more, by the way. I'm gonna have to run inside and do that shortly.
You should
Like,
probably
right
go do
now?
that now then, because we're not doing anything useful.
Hey, it's pre-show.
Hence nothing
Pre-show.
useful.
Get your
But now,
pre-show
if you
here.
ever wanted to, now would be your chance.
All right, I'll go chance it up.
This guy.
This fucking guy.
So what else are we going to talk about in the meantime?
How about these Han Superlights?
Mate, is that what it? Oh, it's the stubby that looks like a that almost looks like a cider,
Oh, it's my Goldfield Ashes stubby holder.
mate.
I'm so
What?
confused right now.
Can you be more Aussie right now?
Dude, he hasn't got a mullet.
So yeah,
are you talking
oh,
about?
I have a removable one.
He does in spirit.
Look,
I
you
actually
need to get that.
I actually do have a mullet downstairs.
I need to see it.
Can you imagine? Like that's your cosplay for Gerard. Mullets are in fashion pre Grim Dawn.
I can get it if you really want to see it.
I'm making that canon now.
Yes.
Jeb, would you like to see it?
Yes.
All right, I'll go get it.
Oh, please.
I'll go get it.
What have you done? Half the cast has been dispersed. Or really, 2/3 of the cast.
Look,
Half of the players.
between you and me, we're like the best personalities on the show, so it's fine.
That is true. We should probably talk about we should go into like Bronin commentary mode.
Yes.
Man,
I can't
ranked-
do it to you face to face, though. I feel sorry for you.
Look, it's kind of true actually, because we give each other a lot of like well-meaning shit. While we're, but look, we're kind of in character, aren't
That's
we?
true. Yeah,
Even though we don't
are.
call it a role play, we're kind of just role playing dick versions of ourselves,
Yeah, we are. Absolutely.
and I love it.
So good. It's
all-
fun to be a dick sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost like an out-of-body experience, though. Really, it's like
Yeah.
I'm watching ourselves be dicks,
Absolutely.
but it's not really us.
Yeah. It's why it's one of the few videos that I personally make that I can watch and enjoy.
Yeah, 'Cause you read
Otherwise,
it.
it's like, hello, I've seen this before.
But it's also spur of the moment as well. That you can't remember all the goodness that happens.
And all the listen meta. It's too good.
It's seeped into my vocabulary so much.
It seeped into something, that's for sure.
Are you ready for this?
Here we go. Oh, I can feel its glory. Oh,
Dude, holy shit.
yes.
Dude, we are so working that amateur angle right now, and I love it.
That's the greatest hairpiece I've ever seen. 8 out of 8.
Winning. You
Holy
should wear
shit.
it during recordings, even when you don't have face cam on, because it'll just put you in the right, the right psychological
Oh,
profile.
dude, you should start doing face cam, let's plays, and just call them like Aussie let's plays.
Yeah, well,
A Bogan
Bogan.
plays.
as you can see, it actually doesn't look entirely unnatural for me.
Yeah, it's even got frosted tips. It's beautiful.
Yep.
That's what
I
you
think
want.
we have to start a petition to get Steve to grow a real one.
Yes. Look,
Giggity.
why do you have that?
It's a very
I understand
valid
the real question is probably why do you not? Why would you not? But I need the story.
We had a white trash party to go
Okay.
to,
Yes.
and I bought it for that.
Yes.
You nailed it, my friend.
I can't believe they even make these. I
Yeah.
gotta get one.
Look, you probably don't.
Yeah, and then I'll start wearing a wife beater. It'll be fucking great.
That's
look, I
actually
wear-
exactly what I wore to the white trash party.
Yes.
I like to wear those singlets.
Yes.
They're real nice in summer.
And
They
then
just
I
have a
got,
real bad name.
and then I
Yeah.
got my friend to draw the Australian made tag on my arm as a fake tattoo
Nice.
with a Southern Cross on this one.
I love it. It's so good.
Holy shit. Winning at life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
100%, mate.
Looks like Bracho has a Magnum.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
similar.
it's all right. So, some of us, though, we'd love to have a cross bun.
You
Oh,
can go
my
buy
God.
it from
Yeah.
Woolies.
Of professionality on the show, but that's okay.
You
This is a
can,
Bulla double choc crunch. Thank you very much. Better than a Magnum.
Mr. Fancy Pants over here.
Look.
That's the cheapest.
it's a big
Not
call.
fancy.
It's a big call.
Mr. Fancy
Fucking
Pants.
fancy pants.
I'm the one with the mullet here, so
That is pretty fancy pants, actually.
That's true. I feel like, yeah, wife beaters do have a bad rap, but
of course they do. They're called wife beaters.
yeah, they kind of make you look. They kind of make you look buff. Well, they can do.
They can if they're tight enough.
It's the only reason I wear them.
Yeah, dog. Because I mean, I've got a couple of. I was gonna say sleeveless T-shirts, but that makes no sense.
Tank
But
tops.
you understand? No, it's like exactly a T-shirt without the sleeves.
Yeah,
That's
alright.
the fit of it, right?
Yeah.
But they don't look that good.
That's fair.
You need. I'm a fan of tight clothes. The
It
tighter
depends.
the better.
It depends who's wearing them, right?
It's true.
Should get you a corset.
Listen, mate. I would totally be if I was American. I'd be like one of those jocks, those frat boys, always on the lookout for a tighter shirt.
Oh my
Oh boy.
god.
Is there any other way to be though? Really?
If there is, I don't want to know it.
This is some proper conversation, I have to say. I'm
This is
really
some top-notch banter. Now we just need to get some Nando's.
look, I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it.
Good, good.
Beautiful mullet, though.
Thank you. I do my best.
Nice. Okay. So I think I'm just about ready from a GM perspective to deliver some content. Should we jump in?
Let's do it.
Or is there any other
Probably.
banter that we need to get off our chests?
Look,
No, I think this is as good a time as any to do actual gameplay stuffs.
Let's do it. All right. So look, just quick preface, and I spoke to the guys briefly off camera that I'm not feeling 100% tonight. I've been under the weather most of the week, but I really wanted to play role-playing games. So bear with me if I'm a little bit slow or forgetful of certain rules or backstory stuff, but I'm going to do my best. Jebediah has cool sunglasses. Okay, I like this. They give you no plus stats though, sorry.
mate.
Ooh.
Unless they're X-ray spectacles. Do
Yeah,
we
but-
want to do a brief recap on last week, the last session?
Go ahead,
Jump in.
GM.
So, a quick 1 to 2 minute summary. Basically, you guys wanted to go insurgents on. That counting's so distracting. You wanted to go insurgent style on the Chthonic Church. You had to have a pretty lengthy discussion with the Peacekeeper of Darkvale because he wanted to just basically capture or kill them and protect his beloved town, get him out ASAP. But you convinced him otherwise, and he gave you 24 hours to find out some more stuff about what's going on with the church because you had suspicions of a grander scheme or plan that they were trying to hatch and basically do more than just kill people in Darkvale. So you went to see Jeb's contact, who also lives in Darkvale, goes by the name of Everett, in a rundown shack in the quiet part of town.
That's right.
Everett. So you guys hit him up. Bracho calmed him down with a couple of relaxing cigarettes, did a little bit of research, and found basically something to the effect of blood. This volume of blood sacrifice likely is likely pointing towards a massive summoning ritual of some kind, and the name Loghorian was found in an ancient text that Everett had lying around in his extensive library. Before leaving, he also gave Jebediah a little side quest to retrieve an amulet that he needs to perform a little summoning ritual of his own that he can't complete without this extra piece of magical artifact. So from there, you went to talk to the Peacekeeper again, let him know of what you found out, and you hatched a little plan to run some surveillance on the church and then infiltrate it from the back door. Bracho and Jeb wearing the cloaks you got off the other Chthonic church members that you killed down on the beach near the hut, and you roped up Gerard as your captive, as your cover story for trying to infiltrate. So you ended up managing to get in the back door. You tricked the fella who answered at the door there, and he ran out for a little bit to cover your trail because it was unorthodox for Chthonics to be bringing prisoners here.
We played him.
Yeah, you tricked him real good. So you guys found a map on the wall showing some little, basically some travel directions as to where the church might end up being or have been. And then you delved down into the cellar. There was a little cellar door entrance in this back room, which is like the back of the church where they give their sermons and have the public visit and all that sort of thing. But it sounded as though you may be getting followed from one or both doors back on the ground level, I suppose. And that's what brings us to this evening.
And the best hand-to-hand combat guy is still tied up.
Did I miss anything?
Is his mullet also tied up?
You can never tie up the mullet.
It just instantly breaks free.
Physically, you may try, but spiritually, you'll know you'll never be right.
So look, is that all good? Does that make sense?
Yep.
We on point?
I think so.
I think so.
Man.
I think that sums it up pretty damn well. So,
very good, very good. So look, you ready for this? Hopefully I can do this right the first time. I've done some fancy prep.
Do it.
no way.
Your screen should change shortly.
Oh, fuck.
I have a grey screen. Oh.
Give it a chance to load.
Oh.
Oh, holy shit.
So Kluger did a little bit of drawing.
We have a map. Sort of.
Dun, dun, dun.
Kind of. Look, this isn't to scale, and the guys I picked to represent you all aren't really what I imagine your characters to be like. But look, free resources. So
Not
back
good enough.
off.
Redo it.
I'm just rearranging your faces so I can see the map myself. Actually.
I wish
So-
you told me this earlier because I need to make this fit on the die. Oh no, that's actually a pretty good guess. Never mind.
I'm having. Wait, where are we?
You should be on another tab where I've drawn a map for you all to see.
I am not.
I'll try drag everyone. Oh wait, you're GM though. That's why. You're co-GM. So can you see page toolbar in the top right?
Let me join everyone else. You plebs. Oh,
Can you see the Chthonic Cellar page?
how did you do this?
Look, I did spend a little of my YouTube money on a tile set, but most of it is free resources from Roll20.
Or free sources, as they like to be called.
Do they?
I'm gonna
Really?
find it. Look, I'm gonna do it right now. As a forewarning. But look, yeah, so this isn't to scale, but imagine that the cellar runs about, call it 18 or 20 meters long, and about half that across, maybe even less, 7 or 8 meters on the short end. And you see what you see before you. There's a variety of crates and barrels in the corners and along the walls. The trapdoor you can see here. is where you guys entered. So this represents the entire footprint of the building. So the whole church and a back door, back room are above you, like to the same dimensions. I need to be on that there.
I love what's happening here.
So yeah, and it's pretty bare. Like you thought it smelt a little weird, and like maybe they did evil stuff down here, but it's really just like an office for them. So you can see there's a table here with a couple candles. Why is that doing that? I want to be on that. Okay, I fixed it. So you can see there's a table here. There's a little shelf, just sconces on the walls, and just a single painting to the to the back and right of the table. They're just hanging on the wall. So it's pretty sparse, pretty plain, and that's where you walk in. Can you guys move and rotate each of your own tokens?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
So you guys can actually move yourselves around the.
Who's moving me?
That was probably me. You shouldn't be able to move each other, but maybe you can. I'm not really familiar with using this.
I can't move the
I
other
can't
guys.
move anyone.
Cool.
Apart
That
from
would have
myself.
been me. I can move everyone. So, so yeah, there you go. That's a thing that I did while I was sick at home this week. So,
Yeah,
there's
sick.
mate.
Fully sick, mate.
Oh my god, bro. So to set the scene, really you were kind of expecting company fairly soon. You kind of heard footsteps coming behind you as you just closed the cellar door in time behind you, and you'll traipse your way down into the cellar here.
Mate.
And you hear the doors above. It's just wooden, what are they called? Like wooden floors above you. So you can hear through it reasonably clearly. The voices are muffled, but you can hear at least what's going on fairly clearly. So you hear the middle door, the door separating the two rooms above you, close, and then the outside door close shortly thereafter. And you probably all have that moment where your heart skips a beat and you're fully expecting the cellar door to open again. But rather than that, you hear an argument break out. So you can't hear exactly what's going on, but and there's a bit of finger pointing and arguing going on about exactly what's just happened and who's got in and why they brought a prisoner here. So they're probably accosting. Is accosting the right word? Brother, whoever that was guarding the back room about letting a prisoner in here. So there's a little bit to look around here. There's, like I said, there's this table here and there's some other business. So feel free to move yourselves around the room as you describe your actions, and I'll go from there.
And it's a ladder coming down from the trapdoor, right?
Yeah, the ladder almost leads straight down along the wall here.
Okay,
as you
so
open the trapdoor.
essentially the trapdoor is actually X amount of meters above our heads.
Yeah, call it. It's not very tall. It's probably like a 7 foot, 8 foot cellar. So a tall person is not going to have much headroom. So
Okay.
it's pretty small and dingy. And your eyes take a moment to adjust. You kind of have that weird moment where you can't see too well, and your eyes kind of adjust to the low light over the next few minutes. And yeah. So what do you guys want to have a look at? There's not many points of reference in here, but there's a few things to sticky beak at.
We should probably check out whatever's happening here.
Really, mate.
Are you pointing? Oh, wow. You totally moved.
Oh, look at this meta.
What do you think of that?
So Jeb heads to. You can describe. You don't just have to drag around.
I move my token across the screen to the other guy.
Gerard to B7.
Oh yeah. Do you let Gerard free of his bonds, or does he still stay tied up as the bad guy, as the captive?
I don't know how to process this.
I think we would probably let him loose once we got out of sight.
Okay. So Gerard, your wrist binds are untied, and the bag comes off from over your head.
Huzzah!
And you probably have even worse vision initially because you've been stuck in a dark bag for a long time. But then you're free to wander around on your own.
Yep.
So I guess Jeb and Brutcher, I guess you're looking at this paper thingy maybe on the desk, or looking for stuff on the desk.
So I'd be not really familiar with the way people organize offices, being a shaman. Being an old shaman.
This would be unusual too, yeah.
Yeah. So I know that I'm very much looking for more evidence to pin these guys on being super bastards. So I guess I'm just having a look around. I'd probably follow Jeb. Jeb probably sort of has, we're about the same pace with my elderliness and his peg leg. So I can keep up with Jeb. Gerard, on the other hand, he's just too fit.
Skirting around the room like a
Like the
fit person.
Like
Greyhound.
the-
A
like
greyhound,
the-
maybe.
the spring chicken that I am.
Well, no, you got a crippled leg as well, though, so it's not like you're particularly fast. You're just the fastest
we're a
out of
very
these
slow
three.
party.
We are. In my
Just
defense, I
ended
didn't
your
know
way.
you were going to be crippled and he was going to be an old mofo.
Can you imagine? It's gonna be. Can you imagine if we converted this to Baldur's Gate? You'd be hearing. You must gather your party before venturing forth. 5 seconds. Fucking hell.
No, well, would we really? Because we wouldn't actually get that far away from each other.
Oh gosh. Okay, so Jeb, as you approach the note that's on the table, it's a very Spartan little study desk. Like there's just those candles there. There's probably like an ink and quill, and there's just this single note at the moment. Most things seem to have been packed away, but it's kind of like anchored down by like a paperweight because it's a scroll that's been unfolded, but it's still doing that thing where it scrolls back in on itself.
Them details, 10 points.
Thank you. I'm pro GM. So it's a letter. It doesn't exactly state who it's from that you can make out, but it's titled the Chthonic Imperative, and it's a note to the effect of saying, brothers, ensure to continue the blood harvest. Any full barrels are to be shipped in the utmost secrecy to the north, to the necropolis where the ritual will be performed. Ensure to keep
All of the information.
So ensure to keep things under the most epic of veils, the most discreet of veils, as this project is sure to go on for many months to come. But the reward will be the utmost saving from our Lord and Savior Chthon. Something like that. I didn't plan that spiel at all. But then the note basically says, "Good work, everyone. Make sure you get all your blood to the necropolis. That's where we need it."
Sounds like a really bad blood drive.
It's pretty much like the worst charity blood drive in the history
And you don't get a
You
sandwich.
don't get a sandwich and a cookie
or
afterwards.
cookies, yeah.
Is anyone else disturbed by that? Like they advertise, hey, we give you a sandwich when you're done. It's like, I want a fucking steak, buddy. Anyway.
Well, I feel like that would completely defeat the purpose of a charity blood drive. But anyway, I think that's a bit off topic. Oh, bye, Bracho.
I just lost Bracho.
What is Roll20 doing today? We'll wait for. Hey, he's back.
Ah, there he is.
Okay, we can see you. Can you hear us?
Yes,
Good.
I'm here.
Alright. So yeah, that's what the note reads. Necropolis is the giveaway there. If it wasn't obvious, that's a location where they're taking everything. Whether you know exactly where that is or what that's referring to, you might not exactly know, depending on your knowledge of Can.
I have excellent knowledge of Can, by the way.
Maybe you should roll that skill.
I would be pointing at the piece of paper and tapping on that word necropolis, going,
Hey,
And
can
I-
Bracho read?
He recognized, yeah, he can
Okay.
actually. Thank you
Or did
for
someone, even if someone read the note aloud, did anyone read it out as they were going through it, or just reading in your heads?
No, I read in my mind's eye.
asking. I read in my mind's eye. So, knowledge can, rolling that, no modifiers,
No, just roll that flat.
it's flat.
You're pretty good at it.
Ooh.
6. Okay, so most like the term necropolis is a fairly kind of indistinct term. It's a non-specific kind of term, but you know that there's one necropolis that's generally referred to as the necropolis due to its size and design. There was like artists and sculptors commissioned to build this glorious necropolis for the people of the empire. And it also says to the north, and so that kind of geographically fits with where you are right now. If that's the right necropolis, it's probably it's several weeks of walking away, or like a week or two. Yeah, it's pretty far, or it's a couple maybe a week or two of carting. I don't know exactly, but it's pretty far away, and it's
Yep. Just for anyone else who's at home who doesn't have a writer's thesaurus, a necropolis is a cemetery, graveyard, churchyard, or burial ground.
oh god.
Would Jeb know anything further, considering his occulty ways?
You may know the same information more or less, but I mean, it kind of is what it is. Like this creepy note, notwithstanding, it's just a beautifully designed in a kind of morbid way. Necropolis is really like this beautiful carved marble and really glorious statues and offers to these glorious nobles of Caen. So. That's really all there is to it, and maybe it's like a bit of a shame to you guys, depending on your appreciation of art, that they pick such a site for this ritual. But it also kind of makes sense because lots of dead bodies will go there. So,
look, Jeb is very much of the opinion that if you're going to summon some sort of eldritch horror, you may as well do it in style.
Look, that is pretty true.
Okay.
That is pretty true. So there you go. So you'd know if your instincts are correct, that's where it would be. That's the most likely location based on what you're reading. So, Gerard, in the meantime, what are you doing?
I'm checking out the photo next to this shelf because
the
I made the assumption that this isn't a motivational poster.
No, not exactly. It's a paint. It's like an oil painting in a really ornate, like gold leaf trimmed frame, and I don't know what it's probably like it's like a painting of the embodiment of Chthon, as though like if he were a human, like standing on some epic boulder with his sword up above and his cape flowing behind him. I don't know, some heroic figure that these dudes are really into, or maybe even just a generic historical figure of Caen. It's kind of hard to tell, but some superhero looking guy is hanging on the wall there. So, I mean, in of itself, it's just a really good oil painting, but it seems a little out of place down here.
Mm-hmm. Especially because it's the only seemingly decorative thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
So I figured it would have been of some kind of importance.
Maybe.
So I went over to look at it.
It's just hanging there.
Can we take it off the wall and check for the safe behind it?
Would you like to?
I would certainly lift it off and inspect it. I'm assuming there's no wards around it. Yeah, traps.
I totally could have done that, but no, there's not. Yeah, you take off the painting, and there is indeed like a cavity behind it. A few bricks have been removed, and there's a smallish kind of lockbox sort of thing.
Take it.
It is locked. You can't. It's not something you can just open. It is locked right now, but you found a little.
We need a key.
You need a key, probably.
Can we try the key from the people at the boat shed?
That was like a big padlock for an iron door though, like a big iron padlock. Or do you mean the key for the building you're in now?
No, I think he meant the first one.
Whatever's more valid.
Whatever's gonna work, GM.
Neither will work. They're both. This is like.
So I'm imagining like a petty cash tin, roughly of size.
Yeah, like think of it more like the size of a jewelry box, roughly, maybe a little bit bigger. It's not huge, and like I said, it's just a few bricks have been taken out from the wall. It's not like it wasn't the size of the whole painting. It was a foot by a foot maybe, and like 3 or 4 foot deep.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's that.
Does anyone have lockpicking?
Do you do anything with it? Do you take it out or leave it there? Or
I'll definitely take it out. It's trying to inspect it a little bit more in depth and see if I can work out how to open it or if it's smashable.
Where do you put it, Steve? Gerard? Jesus.
Where do I put it?
Yeah, like on the table?
Probably on the table under these candles, so it's in maximum light.
Cool.
And after I let Jeb and Bracho take a look at it, I would then go and pull on all the torch sconces, just in case.
You guys are better GMs than I am.
What are you gonna do? With the
alright, that's
like,
kind of
try and use them as levers for like some secret passage.
Secret entrances.
Exactly.
I like the way you're thinking. All right, cool. So the lockbox is there, just on the table where Gerard plonked it down. No, the sconces don't do anything, despite the Chthonics having a little time on their hands. They haven't gone so far as building an elaborate tunnel system underneath the Dark Veil just yet. So
Not good enough, Chthonics.
I applaud your investigative techniques, but no, there's no secret passages here.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would, as I said, I'd leave the thing on the lockbox on the table for Jeb and Bracho to have a look at.
Cool.
See if they come up with anything epiphany-like.
Look.
Uh-oh.
Turn order.
Hold the phone.
I was just checking it. It's okay. We're not fighting yet.
Can I fear the box open? I don't know. Look, I'll say it again. Does anyone have lockpicking as a skill?
I don't.
You can roll it unskilled.
Yeah.
Uh,
Will
there
you
is a-
allow us to bypass the need to find lockpicks?
There is a security skill, I think, somewhere.
There's actually a
there's
lockpicking
skill.
Yeah.
Well, look, rolling it unskilled is kind of like maybe you've just got a pin in your pocket, or like like a hairpin, or you find a piece of wood you're going to try jam, like a splinter of wood, like something really stupid because you don't know how to lockpick, right?
Yeah.
But you can try it with the accoutrements you have around to have an unskilled attempt at it if you like.
I'm assuming the
I've
credit
got-
card trick won't work.
I've got a couple of daggers. I'll try it with the smallest of the two daggers.
So you're going to roll it unskilled, and you're going to roll it at a -2.
Oh god!
He can't win.
No,
Let
you
me find
can,
something else.
you can win with that. You could win with your wild card die.
Good luck.
It's gonna be hard. It's low light. You haven't got the equipment. You have no idea what you're doing. But maybe dumb luck will be on your side.
It is not. He rolled
It's
a
not.
1.
It's not a crit fail, but it is a 1. So no, you nothing really too untoward happens.
So,
You don't
I mean,
break
it doesn't
anything.
end up being a mimic.
No, it's definitely not a mimic, and you don't like break the lock that you can tell.
Okay.
Yeah, it just kind of jiggles and just kind of you get that weird like click click a bunch of times, of the dagger just slipping loose of the lock every time you try it. It's quite a fine lockbox, so like the dagger was pretty low chance of success.
Damn it. I'm gonna
So time's running short. It's probably been 2 or 3 minutes, and you hear the argument upstairs kind of starting to swell down. They're still conversing, but they're not as heated as they once were. So they sound like they're corroborating more than at each other's throats. So you don't have much time left if there's anything else at the last second you want to look at.
Bracho has found the skull on the shelf.
Mm-hmm. That skull, it's just it's like an ornately carved kind of skull, and like the carving's been painted in. It's got like weird swirly things and all that sort of thing. It might be used as like as a focus or like a casting. I don't know what the word. I guess it's a focus, really, for someone who's that way inclined with the magical arts. But it's kind of old and kind of a bit rotted out. It's seen better days, so it'd work, but it's not too flack.
Oh, and the piece of furniture that it's sitting on is a shelf.
Just a shelf, yeah.
Is it a cupboard underneath, or is it literally just a plank of wood in the side of the wall?
It's pretty much a plank of wood, yeah.
Okay, because I couldn't tell. It looked like there might have been handles or drawers or something.
Yeah, no, it's just a plain old shelf.
Mantelpiece.
Mantle.
It kind of is. Frankly, it's just decoration. Like, you guys have thought of some really cool ideas that I just haven't planned for, so there's not really as many things as you're hoping for down here. But I think the moment is up, and you hear the and the light spill in from upstairs. And you hear the...
Bracho scurries across the floor to hide behind some barrels.
Roll for me. Let me find a character sheet so I can actually know the stat. I closed it, yeah, classic. It's like there's a quickness something or other, I think.
No, I don't have quickness.
Exactly.
Automatic crit fail.
That is my point.
I have pace of 5.
Yeah.
I can hide behind
that's
5 barrels at once. Negative.
I'm trying to think if there's a way to do it.
You can just say no as well.
No, but I
Yes, but you're halfway across, and then they come into the room, and you're busted.
That's no fun. Leave it to a bit of tension, I reckon. But there isn't a skill for this as such. Just roll a d6, and if you get a d4, we'll say you make it in time. So yeah,
That's a 3 for anyone playing at home.
Look,
I did not make it in time.
and Gerard, are you trying to hide as well?
Is my avatar being behind the barrels giving it away?
Yes. No, well, you'll have to do the same thing.
That's fair.
Same.
Same.
Are you making any attempt to hide, Jebediah?
Look, you deal with Gerard first, and then you come to me.
Okay.
Same thing.
Just D6. I should have penalized you for your pace, but we'll just,
Balls.
it doesn't really matter anyway.
Jesus.
It
Yeah.
knows.
So there's tick, coming down the ladder.
Before we
Jeb,
get there, where's Gerard at?
I'm assuming
so
I'd
he's
be
trying to
about
hide
there.
in these barrels up on.
I'd be
over
about
here.
there right by now, I'd say.
Are we saying that those failed rolls are you didn't make it to the barrels, or are we saying that you're not hiding very well?
You make it, but you've been seen in pursuit of your hiding place, so you don't make it to the spot in time.
Well, I would stop as soon as
As
I
soon as I'd
realized
been
I
seen,
was
I'd
busted.
stop.
I'm not gonna go. Oh, he seen me. I'm gonna keep hiding. That would be
So
awkward.
anyway, this fella rocks up. Jeb, do you do anything while this guy's whoops?
All right, so
Let me
just
click on Steam.
refresh my memory. How does how does the combat thing work? Was it a move and an action?
You get a move. Yeah, so you get to like a move action, which is like positioning yourself, and then an action of another sort, attacking usually. Yeah.
But you can't have like two actions in lieu.
You could spend 2 actions, but the rule is each action roll is at a -2 penalty. The move action is separate,
Okay.
I believe. I don't know if you can sacrifice your movement.
I
To do
believe
that.
that's how it went in the first.
I'll check.
Time.
But anyway, what do you ask for a reason? I suppose.
Yeah, all right, I won't do it because I mean I don't want to like detriment myself to the point of like why even do it. But just so that you guys know, I was toying with the idea of throwing the lockbox at the hardest head I could see of the intruders, and then also shooting them. but instead, I guess I'll at least get behind.
Shooting
the
them
table
with what?
with my revolver.
I like it. But look, the thing is, like, you all try to scurry to various hiding places, but you only, at least for the time being, see one person come down the stairs on his own. The trapdoor does stay open, but no one seems to be following this gentleman down.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those in the robes of the church that don't look like this. He's actually in just plain black, really, with the hood down, an ornate belt tied around it, dangling around his waist. And he says, "Brothers, why do you try to hide from me?"
Damn it.
I feel
I
it's.
just turned to Bracho.
And he's kind of just standing there, and he's gestured out to you as he said that, and then returned his hands just at rest, at his sternum, just waiting for someone to speak.
We heard raised voices.
Indeed, we were discussing what has occurred tonight. You seem to have brought a prisoner here instead of to the bathhouse, who is now, in fact, untied. I can't help but notice. Your methods, Brother Jacob, have become most unusual.
Look, we had a good chat with the prisoner, and we decided he's not so bad after all. So we thought we'd let him free and maybe give him a trial membership with this here Church of Cathal.
And he's slowly nodding, and he says, "I applaud your newfound mercy, Brother Jacob."
Fucking buying it.
And so he says, "Was this man located at the bathhouse? At the beach?"
fine gentleman with a mullet. Where did we locate you exactly?
So you ask Gerard where you.
Yes.
Oh, this is going really well.
What's my charisma?
Not that it's having much weight right now. It's actually a -2. So
It's a
look,
minus fucking 2.
you can probably have an extra Benny for playing to your -2 charisma really well, because you're doing a pretty poor job of convincing this guy of your story here. So Gerard, do you say anything?
Yeah, I guess so. It wasn't far from the beach, remember? Trying to like make him feel as though he remembers some kind of story.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have persuasion, but it's only like a D4, so something to try and get this back on track to make it seem semi-reasonable.
What are you trying to convince him of? That your story's holding up, basically.
Yes, as poorly as it's going.
It's pretty far gone right now. Maybe if we come up with something plausible, you can roll on that.
No.
And he turns to you, Bracho, and then he says, "Where did I put my notes? God dang it!" He doesn't say that. He says,
"You left them on the table, brother."
I didn't read them.
Brother Simon, I can't help but notice that brother Turner is missing. I sent 3 of you to the beach this morning.
We left him there to protect it from any unwanted attention. We thought that perhaps this mulleted man was unwanted attention, but it turns out he's
just wearing a mullet.
Turns out his attention was not to our undoing, but to perhaps our support. See, he is with the town guard, but he is not. He is with the town guard, but he is not. He is not. He is questioning his what's the word?
Allegiance.
No, allegiance. He's questioning his loyalties. He has seen the good work that we have done, that you have orchestrated in Darkvale, and he wants in.
And he's nodding. And he says, "Is this true?" And gestures to you, Gerard. Sort of like imploring you, like as if to ask for your name without saying so. Is this true, Mister? We cannot initiate you into the order without a name, surely. Do not be coy, brother.
Brother Pwing Pwing is his name.
What?
Pwing Pwing.
Pwing pwing.
Pwing Pwing.
Pwing pwing.
You misheard me earlier, Brother Jacob. I said Peter.
Right.
Peter.
That's the one.
And what is it that was your role here in Darkvale?
Perception.
10 points.
You mean other than town guard? I thought that was mostly self-explanatory.
I've never met you before. How would I know? Actually, bear with me.
When your GM says actually, and his brow furrows.
Yeah.
I get my dagger ready.
Actually,
Was that a D6?
that was a D8. But he
Right.
says the same thing. You know, he basically says, "No, I mean, how would I know what you do around here? Essentially, how would I know what your job is? I haven't really seen you around before." But he's starting to sound kind of sarcastic in his manner.
What does it matter? Have you met everyone in Darkvale?
I can't say that I have, but I recognize a familiar face. And he gets his grin on his face, like he's looking pretty shady.
So do you recognize me or do you not recognize me? You're confusing me now.
In any case, brothers, I do appreciate your efforts to bring us new initiates. However, we cannot accept this man into our order. Now, if you are still truly of the faith, you will reattach his binds, give him back his bag, and you will take him to Herod, as is our normal method. Is this okay?
Look, can I initiate combat?
If you want to.
Shit,
But
Jeb.
before we do that, keeping in mind we are literally trapped in a cell with one way out, which has multiple cultists above the door, can we at least talk about this first?
All right, look, let's table talking.
You can have a little table talk, yeah.
I
This is
don't.
the part where you start, yeah.
Yeah,
Impart your mulleted wisdom.
I don't know if immediately going to fight him is the best option. I know we've got like a good bottleneck if we take this guy out,
I didn't even think of the bottleneck. Yeah, I'm more in favor of this now.
but if we don't take him out before his friends join us, we're in trouble, I imagine. Considering I need to get within hand-to-hand combat range.
And we still don't have. I mean, I've got wasps, but we still don't have
And
a key for the lockbox.
which may be working in favor to kill this guy, or trying to.
Yeah, because how else are we going to get the lockbox out of here without them getting suspicious?
As
Unless
you walk,
someone's got a particularly deep nature's pocket.
How good is your sleight of hand?
What would that be
Distraction.
under stat-wise?
under your robes, bro.
Distraction.
Yeah, what would that be?
Wait, what was the question?
What would you make me roll for sleight of hand?
You mean to go up to this guy and see if he has a key on him
Stealth,
in the middle of this
probably. No,
conversation?
No, to hide the lockbox.
Hide the lockbox somewhere in my person. Without even
It's,
noticing.
Would it be stealth?
it'd be yeah. If there's a straight stealth skill, holy shit!
There is.
There is, but I'm unskilled.
You could roll it, yeah. But he's fairly intent on you guys. B, it's not a small lockbox. It's not like fit in your pocket lockbox. It's
No.
like carry in front of you with two hands lockbox. But
Jester Ark has a good idea here. IMHO.
he does. I read that myself.
kill him and say he attacked you when your new cultist recruit provided info suggesting the cultist is a traitor to the cause.
Dun dun dun.
Hey, I try.
Well,
Or you know what? We might not even have to attack him. We could just yell, "Traitor!"
But who's the traitor?
This guy. This guy down here. Hang on. Let me.
ping him. Ping
The
him.
traitor.
Look, I really like where you guys are trying to go with this, but
I want.
he's the established leader of the church here.
Yeah.
He's the leader.
He's the least
Well,
likely to be suspected
one-
then.
He's the one who sent us out on the mission this morning.
he said something to the effect of,
Yeah.
I sent you blokes out to do the thing. So he comes across as the boss man around here.
I didn't fully write down every word for word that was on that imperative document.
Mhm.
But I'm wondering if we can tie Gerard's role or post in the town as a means of exporting a ton of barrels under daylight or something like that.
Okay, so as in like you're gonna finagle, like leverage Gerard's role, or say you're leveraging Gerard's role to do something like that.
Yeah, so like he's just like, if I just get this right, he's asked us to bind him and take him to the bathhouse. So at Meta Talk, maybe we could just,
Do
A,
that.
do that, and just, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We're not thinking straight. We're not thinking straight. We shall go consume the blood and reacquaint ourselves with the mighty Chthon, or whatever that awesome phrase might be. And we can just go, just sneak out. Okay, thanks, bye. And do that. And leave the lockbox. We know it's here and all that stuff. Or we can sort of say, he go down the argument path of he's an ally. He should be in our, we should be using, we could keep arguing that and say, like he can, sort of, what's the word? Forge some sort of writ or something like that allows us, to be pardoned or questioned or not questioned as we take 15 barrels of
questionable
unlabeled, unlabeled questionable content or something like that.
Unlabeled blood.
We don't know if this is type O or type B.
So we can do it, or we can argue some intellectual play, or we can attack the dude. But there's also like 3 guys upstairs. So just looking
we
at
can
our
always
options.
attack the dude. So I'm happy to go with your suggestion.
What were you thinking, Steve? Gerard?
So, I don't know. Like, my inclination, because he gave us the option to go take him to Herod and not just strike him down where he stands, I feel like that would be the way to go, personally, but it's hard to convey that when, if he is the leader, sort of take the head off the snake sort of thing.
Look, we can always chop his head off when he's not looking on the way out.
Can we though? If we're going to be surrounded by 3 other cultists?
Well, okay. Here's another
and
thing.
again, keep in mind, on the way out, I will be bound again.
Yeah, that's right. You could strangle him with your bound.
As long as you bind me in front, sure.
The other thing here is I really want to keep that scroll, which I should have totally pocketed earlier.
Well, that wouldn't be too hard, because we could sort of be bound. If you decided to bind my hands again, you could do that in front of the scroll and Jeb take it. Or other way around. Create a human body wall.
Yes, but that would kind of look like we're all just clustered around the very edge of this thing. What's that rustling paper noise while you're tying rope around that man's hands?
Oh, it's very papery. It's very papery rope.
Yes. It's papyrope. Haven't you heard of it?
Oh my god.
Jar. And we could do that. Or I'm also thinking like playing potentially the smoke and mirrors distract card. Like Bracho goes up and says, look here. Come. I don't want to get too close though, because he'll realize that I'm not Brother Simon. But
yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe summon some wasps, scare the dude for a bit, like get him running. It's like, no, look out, the wasps are free, and
well,
scream.
like accidentally cast it.
Yeah. Wasps. I don't know. There's a lot of options. I think.
Well,
I really enjoy you guys as players, I have to say.
Before we definitely answer, how far away am I from him?
That's like maybe 10 meters. The room from here. I think there's a way to do this. Can I click and drag? Anyway, from like the front wall to the back is like about 18-20 meters. So like you're maybe 8 to 10 meters from him.
I think we go down the path of like just to put my final like point in. I think we say, that's a good one, 84 feet. I think we say that Gerard could what's the word when you're steering a horse and cart or whatever, when you're that guy at the front with the we could say that Gerard, Peter Poiter, because that's who you look like from full frontal.
Poiter, yes.
Porter!
Porter.
Porter, mate. We'll link in the chat shortly just to make sure everyone knows what the reference is.
Oh god, someone should
But-
tweet that.
Yeah.
Porter.
Porter can ride, can steer the carriage out of town with a lot of barrels, like more barrels than usual. We can meet our imperative quota ahead of schedule, and I think that would be a tantalizing.
Yeah, I'm certainly tantalized by it.
Sorry, I missed a bit of that. You'd make the quota faster how?
By using Porter in his position as town guard to fully ride the carriage out of town without being questioned. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're basically trying to like let's get the guards on our side because they can help us.
Yeah,
do this a
get the
bit
guard
quicker.
up.
Well,
We don't have to
not
do
even
that
let's-
under the cover of
Not
night.
even let's yeah, exactly. Let's not the guards. Let's get Porter,
This guy.
this guy who is, a guard, and then get him to we'll be his his lackeys on this thing, and he'll come through and like these aren't the barrels you're looking for, and he'll Obi-Wan the gate, Darkvale gatesman, and we'll get our
Credits will be
quota out
fine.
of here. I don't know. That's the plan that I would try. That Brusher would try and suggest is like, say, look, instead of us taking Peter to Herod, perhaps we could double our quota for the imperative. Tantalizing, no?
Is that actually what happens? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
That's what
Yes.
happens.
you might have to make a persuade roll.
No, that's a good plan.
Yeah, but I did make a notice roll earlier.
And
So like this guy, he's giving off body language that maybe he knows more than or something. Anyway, but yeah, you could try.
You're talking about a sense motive.
Maybe.
He's sense motived us.
Yeah, I rolled that notice roll. The latest roll makes a notice test when he was talking about Gerard's identity.
Mhm.
Whether or not he recognized him.
Okay.
But I'll grant you an opportunity to try to persuade him.
Sure. With my D4, I'll give that a crack.
Untrained D4.
Oh.
What does that mean?
It's a native -2 to the roll because you're not very good at persuading people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
What the
So you double raise that.
shit?
Are you fucking serious?
Well, looks like we're going north, boys. We're taking the quota to the
Hang on,
necropolis.
how is that even possible?
I don't know. That's such a ridiculously high roll for.
An untrained D4.
Yeah.
But it's a D4 minus. Like, is that even unless I've misunderstood how the rolls work? Isn't that mathematically impossible?
No, Savage Worlds works on
exploded.
exploding dice. So if you roll maximum on a die,
Yeah.
if you roll that again and roll it again if you max it, because then they add up.
Oh,
That's how the whole
okay.
raise system works.
That's
Oh.
three
That's
crit successes.
yeah. And then plus a 2.
And plus 2. That's how good that fucking plan is.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's-
Shit.
So that's two raises basically.
Yeah.
So the way I'm going to work this is one of the raises kind of like cancels out his suspicions he had of Gerard's true identity. So maybe he's starting to second guess himself, and he's a bit like, oh, maybe I'm just not seeing this guy right. Maybe he is Peter of the Guard.
Yeah, it's totally the mullet throwing
Yeah.
him off.
Mullet
And
was
so
a good idea.
did you want to elaborate at all on your plan, Bracho, or is it basically like let's just use these guys to
For the main part, I just wanted us to get out of the cellar, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
it sounds like I've struck a nerve with this guy. Like I'm resonating with this dude, right? With this leader. The plan of
You talk tight with a man, make him
Yeah.
understand your point of view.
yeah, well, I think I think something about doubling our quota to the Imperative will look good on him. So now he's like, oh, fuck yes, I see what's going on here. Let's do this, Bracho. I mean, Simon, let's do this.
So
And he's
okay.
now like, and he's hooked into the idea because he's going to get the reputation boost. Or something. That's what I think anyway, but
Okay.
happy
So
for you
yeah,
to...
I mean, he kind of just raises a hand to his chin and he starts just, kind of giving it one of these. He says, "Look, now that you mention it, having another guard on our side may not be of the utmost detriment. It may aid in our ambitions to ship barrels out at a slightly faster rate." Okay, understood, Brother Simon. We will give this man a try. But what's the word I'm looking for? His responsibility lies with you. Should he act out, should he cause us any undue trouble, it's on you to make things right.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Did you say another guard?
Yes.
Now, I understand that this isn't the sort of thing that we'd all just be going about announcing to the world, oh, look at me, I'm with the Chthonics now. How many exactly do you have? Because if we have enough, it could make my job a lot easier.
Peter. I barely trust you as it is. Look, I appreciate your help. I really do. You will aid us in our quest. But you stick to getting our carts out of Darkvale. Maybe then I'll let you know.
Bracho steps forward and says, brother, should Jacob and I escort this first large batch to the necropolis, we will make sure that it arrives and that your name is applied in the process. That you are recognized as being excellent.
Good joke.
So that you are remembered and praised amongst all the Chthonic ladies as a cultist with a large piece.
Yes.
Wow, that's
I don't actually say that.
No, I was going to say, that was caught up into the bit where you...
Them's the show breaks.
So basically, just in TLDR form, Bracho is trying to find a free pass to maintain the cover and get out of town.
And you're trying to blow smoke up his ass.
A little bit, yeah. And he's by the size of those double raises before, he likes it.
Yeah. Well, look, he's the double raise. Like you will be able to get out, and his suspicion of Gerard has kind of been cancelled out for now. So while it was a double raise, you've kind of reversed some of the, like it was going down a dark road, and you've kind of reversed that to a certain extent.
Am I still walking out in binds?
Did you guys bind him?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
We haven't.
Yeah, no, that's
They
fine.
haven't.
So he says something like, "It would be great to get another shipment out as soon as possible. However, unfortunately, our load is not yet full. We are still maybe another 2 or 3 days away before we can send another full cart north. But I will ensure that you three are on the journey."
Yes. Sorry, he will ensure.
He will ensure that you're on that journey. Yeah. Yes. But it's another few days away because they don't have enough blood to justify shipping out just yet.
Shit.
So we can potentially walk out of here, okay? But now,
Yeah. Let's not tackle what happens next until we get out of here first.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I gotcha.
He gestures to Bracho and Jebediah, and he says, "So, for the next couple of days, you are free to preach in Darkvale, attend our sermons, of course, and keep a close eye on our new friend Pete. We wouldn't want him getting up to any mischief, of course."
Oi, it's Poiter.
I'm not saying Poiter in like a... This guy's like full dark and brooding and like backlit by torches and stuff. He's not
So
gonna
you,
drop a
so
point.
you say it dripping with sarcasm and...
Poiter. Poiter, is it? But I will send... If I cannot locate you myself, if you're not nearby the church in the next few days, I'll be sure to send someone to fetch you, and you will be on your way before you know it.
Excellent.
And so he kind of gestures for you to follow him, back up the ladder and out to the top floor.
Does he turn his back?
Yeah, well, kind of. He like
Without
he's-
trust, right?
he's gesturing to you and kind of turning because he has to turn around to climb up the stairs. Yes.
All right, I grab the lockbox.
Grab the fucking scroll too.
I'd go scroll first.
No, I'm going lockbox. You guys can go scroll.
Grab both. I'm already walking.
All right, fine. I'm
Stealth
grabbing
check
both.
required for sure.
Oh shit!
I was about to say I'll grab the scroll, but maybe not.
Fine. Okay, guys, my stealth is not good.
Neither is
Right.
mine.
Neither was my persuasion.
You guys were so close to being out of this.
Okay, so -2, I assume.
No, just roll it flat. The unskilled roll -2 for you. So the unmistakable chink of gold in this lockbox kind of hits the lid of the locked box, and he turns to you, like he's probably got like two rungs up the ladder, and then he stops and back down, and he slowly turns, standing nearby the ladder, and he says, Brother Jacob, I'm most confused. Why is that lockbox not in its proper location?
It's actually the lockbox from the bathhouse. I don't know what it's doing over here, but I was just going to return it.
God, you're so pushing your luck, bro. Shit. You're so pushing it.
He's the leader of the church in the area!
Roll persuade.
The choices you're making. The choices you're making.
Why didn't you just say we bumped the
flat or
table?
what?
Do you have any ability in persuade?
No.
I do.
Too bad. You can't really help. Nah, just roll it -1. No, roll it flat. Roll it flat.
Okay, thank you.
If
Give him
you're
a
gonna
chance. Holy.
It's
So
a
it's
one.
not
It's
it's not a crit fail.
why?
It's not
Because
ideal,
it's
though.
not crit fail is when you roll double one. He's rolled. Actually, hang on.
I can't tell what he's rolled.
Yeah, it's a bit gibberish. He rolled a 3
Plus
-2. Yeah, so it's not a crit fail. A crit fail in Savage Worlds for you guys is if you roll 1 on your skill die and your wild card die. So you have to roll snake eyes to crit fail.
Yeah.
So he doesn't say another word to you, Jeb, and he looks out, and so he's just kind of staring, looking a bit perturbed, and he briskly walks. So he was here, yeah, and he briskly walks through you guys to the painting, removes it from the wall, and sees the lockbox missing.
God damn it.
And then turns to you and says, "This is definitely our lockbox, our funds, our collected monies. Why has it been removed from the safe location?" And he's getting a little bit, you can see him getting a little upset right now.
Well, my most gratuitous of masters. I'm sure I do not know it was like that when we got here.
I'd really have you talking with that brother Turner when he gets back.
Yeah.
He turns to you, Gerard, just ever so briefly. Shakes his head. He doesn't even talk to you.
That's
then
probably fair.
And turns back to you. He turns back to Jeb and says, I'm the only one that should ever have access to that lockbox, and I put it back every evening without fail. Why, pray tell, would it not be in there this time?
I wish I could tell you.
Bracho, you look like you have something to say.
Yeah, Bracho. Jeb, I'm assuming you're facing the church leader guy. Did we ever catch his name? I don't know if we did.
No, he hasn't
No,
given you his name.
Actually, I'm just mooning him right now.
So Bracho walks over while this is happening. While the briskly walking has happened, Bracho walks over.
This
and
is
then-
actual speed.
And then he totally backhands Jeb in the side of the head
Oh, fuck.
and says, "This is Jacob, right? Jacob,
Jacob.
brother Jacob, you have dishonored us.
Where's the accent?
You have, brother Jacob, you have dishonored us." Is that better? I don't know. I can't
That's
remember.
much better. That's close enough.
You have dishonored us for the last time.
For the
What?
Shit.
I'm just trying to go with your bullshit reasoning here. And then I'll say, Bracho will say, "Let me take him to Herod.
Jeez.
It will please me."
Whoever's
Look.
measuring it right now, this isn't to scale, so.
No.
It looks like Jeb's about to be whacked.
So, well, because the movement for one attack is 8 meters, so I'm trying to work out if it's feasible to ambush him while he's away from the door.
You would, yeah, I'd grant you being within range. If you wanted to do that. I mean, you haven't really convinced him or not convinced him as to why this is out.
Exactly. Which is why I'm thinking about it.
He's
Because
just looking really perturbed because on the one hand, like Bracho is playing like really like super faithful, and Jeb's just full lying through teeth meta. Like he doesn't really know who to believe, and he's really and like he thought Gerard was Gerard, but he's actually Peter. So this guy he's having a really confusing evening. He doesn't really, and frankly, I don't know how he's going to react to this.
Can I call an ad break and come back in a minute? We give you a chance to think about how he wants to respond, and we'll come back in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I think this is a good cliffhanger. Like, there's just this air of tension in the room as you're all. It's a bit of like an old west standoff. You're just looking at each other, not sure
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
We're
Next.
all
like-
messed out.
we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Only
When
we
we
got
come back
no
from
Mexicans.
the ad break, when we come back from the ad break, it like totally replays that last 6 seconds of the scene before.
Yes.
One of those moments.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's go to a quick break and then we'll be back with more Grim Dawn roleplay in just a moment.
Can't even wait.
Back soon, everyone.
Of earned Twitch.
What?
Yes, we are.
Sure, Strowman.
Oh my god. I'm gonna tweet. We're back from break with Roll for Perception. Come watch because it's awesome.
I think you need to roll for persuasion, bro.
I don't think it was that easy.
Did you type it the way you said it though?
Nah, no one will understand a word I'm saying.
Oh.
What phone? Cool. All right. So we all good? We all happy? Well, so in in the following the tradition of cutting back from commercial, as Ash finally pointed out, we cut back to the last sort of 5 or 6 seconds of dialogue that occurred before cutting to break, which was Bracho saying something to the effect of, "Let's punish brother Jacob for his insolence."
Yeah. To that effect, yes.
Cool. So, I still haven't entirely decided how he's going to react to this. He definitely doesn't trust Jeb anymore. So he turns to you, Bracho, and he says, "So you suspect brother Jacob of trying to steal the funds with which we fund our operations? Is that what you're saying, brother Simon?"
Jacob has been cavorting with some of the wrong crowd, I've noticed. Perhaps he's been infected with impure motives. I think Herod and I could beat it out of him.
Look,
I'm waiting for like this. If I may interject.
I say.
look,
I say, boy. I'm a rooster, not a chicken.
I resent that remark. So, intellectually, Jeb understands what Bracho's trying to do, but he can't. He's like compelled deep in his core. He can't just let this happen. He knows it's
Okay.
bullshit. He can't just go along with it. So he's gonna say, I heard this. Hang on, what's his name?
Who?
Who's Bracho trying to be?
I'm Simon.
Bracho is Simon.
The other day, I heard Brother Simon say that he doesn't believe in Khan anymore.
Now, the bad news, Jeb, is that you roll a 1 on your persuasion test. So, this guy's not the biggest fan of yours anymore.
And I rolled a 12.
Yeah. Well,
Look,
Well,
he said Catan was a big old sissy.
I don't suppose you have any evidence of this, brother Jacob.
broken
Is this
code.
true, brother Simon?
Well, you know, our people haven't invented recording devices yet, so no.
When he asks if it's true, Bracho just because he's still got his like hood fairly low over his face. He's not showing off his face in this dark light. He just slowly shakes his head.
And he looks straight back at you, Bracho, and he says, "It seems our good friend Herod will not be with a free schedule this evening. Take him away." And he just gestures at Jeb with this hand. "Take him away."
As you wish.
While he's gesturing, Gerard would have seen that as an opportunity, so he would have attempted a takedown as opposed to a stabbing. Because if the arm's up in if the arm is up in the air, wait for it. Hear me out. If the arm's up in the air, he could get his arm around him and like choke him out. Or something along those lines.
Wow. Now look, that's real drastic. I'll give you a brief moment. Maybe out of the corner of your eye, you notice Gerard like get in that position, like that pouncing position. So like, is there anything on the table talk level, or are we gonna let this happen?
I'm gonna let him do it.
I'm gonna let him do it. I'm not gonna get in his way.
Oh shit! All right,
Oh,
well,
I hope this doesn't fail.
this is really unexpected. I'll grant you that much. So there's no initiative to you get a free attack basically.
Mm-hmm.
So roll your roll your fighting skill.
Holy
Alright,
shit.
cool.
All I'm gonna say is
Do I get any
we're
modifiers for ambush?
No,
Damn.
you get to attack without him noticing. You've got the jump.
It's
So-
okay, it's a 9. It's not too bad. Considering
I'm gonna tell
Actually, I
you
rolled a
what he's-
D10.
Yeah, you got D10 fighting, bro.
Yeah.
Man, he filthed him.
So, on a toughness 6, so that much succeeds. Roll. You've got to roll melee damage.
What's the intention here? Is the intention to murder?
No, the intention is to incapacitate.
So you're attacking unarmed, right?
Well, I am armed, but I'm not using a weapon, yes.
You're not using it, yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
What am I rolling?
So you're using the quick macro melee damage.
Yep, gotta find it. There it is. Number of weapon dice? Just one? Yep. Weapon die size?
Actually, you can't do it this way
Cancel.
because you only need to roll your strength modifier basically. So sorry about that.
It's
So
okay.
what's your strength?
My strength is reasonable. I can't find
I think you should be able to just use the macro. So just click the strength macro.
the strength damage macro.
Actually, what? No, just we'll do a /R. So
My-
what's your strength?
My strength is D8.
So just do /R D8.
Yeah.
5 against his parry 5. So that's a tie.
Oh.
I guess it's your target though. No, that's a success. It's you've reached the target number. So, describe what happens. I suppose you're tackling him.
Well, actually, as I said, because his arm's up like that, like gesturing away. I need another left arm. Essentially, what I was thinking is that he comes over like, yeah, that's it, Rick, right there. He comes over with one arm like here, and then his other arm from like here, and so this arm's actually up against his neck, and
So you're trying to like incapacitate him.
sort of choke him out to the point of where he's a bit more
Dead?
not dead,
Less
pliable.
alive?
Did I screw this up again? This is the illness playing havoc with me. Sorry, you don't do the damage. My apologies. His toughness is a 6. You don't roll against parry. Your attack was a success, but you don't do damage, quote unquote. But anyway, sorry. Still describe your action because it's kind of like semi-successful. I'll say.
Okay.
So you're trying to bring him to the floor, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to
Well-
do? Okay.
Bring him to, not necessarily bring him to the floor, but my idea in my head was to get him into like a choker hold type thing.
Okay.
And then depending on how successful my roll was as to where we ended up.
Well, you've got him in the hole, but he's kind of flailing, and he's not quite pinned down. He's kind of a bit. He's flailing around, and you can't quite lock it in to how you want to lock it in. So, I think after all this, after being so close to just leaving the room, because you can't quite get him, and it's kind of obvious now that you've telegraphed your true intent. He just like screams out the word, "My brothers! I am under attack!" And then you hear scurried footsteps tick, 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 from the top floor, and you see 1,
Oh shit.
2.
Yeah.
Look, it's fine. It's not that many. You see 3 guys come down in a row,
Well-
and see over here. Wait, I can't actually see. So you've basically charged from over there. Thank you to like chokehold this guy. So they've run down here and can see in this line of sight that their leader is getting attacked.
I'm confused, just quickly.
Okay.
I didn't quite fully follow the actual TLDR of Gerard's move after the sort of confusion of what happened?
So
I've
he
got
kind
him
of
into a
rammed
choker
him-
hold, but I can't quite lock it in. And so because of that, he's yelled out.
Surely, if you've got your hands on his throat and stuff, he's not going to be able to yell out very loud.
If he rolled success on, I've kind of had to interpret the combat rules here because this isn't like a normal attack. So if he rolled success on the damage roll, then he would have been like choked out, or like his hand would have been there would have been a hand over his mouth, and so he couldn't yell out. But because it wasn't a full success in that way, I'm granting him the ability to ask for some assistance. Does that make sense? Kind of.
Yep.
Cool.
But my question is if we could hear these guys coming down the trap door,
Yeah.
surely we'd have a jump on them because they'd have to come down the ladder, turn around, take in what's happening. By then we could have attacked, surely. Like, yeah, okay, these guys are slow because of one's old and one's got a fake leg, but all they need to do is turn in 180 degrees.
Yeah.
These guys are running down a ladder into the center of the room, taking in what's happening, waiting for the light waiting for their eyes to adjust.
By the same token, these guys are like, they're really loyal to their leader. So they just hearing his call, they're like, whatever's happening down there, we got to just help him. So they're coming down swinging, basically, is what's going on.
Yeah, but
So-
we're more than 8 meters away.
Steve, I think you've kind of made your bed at this point in time.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm not trying to get out of it, but I'm trying to get my point across that because when I was much closer than that to what's his face, he was too far away to attack.
Who was too far away to attack? My apologies.
I was too far away from the head of the church dude. When
No,
I
was
was
due to your limitations of your movement, though.
but you can
because
only
you're-
move
you're
you can
a
only
full
move 8
pace.
meters though.
You can. A normal person can move 12 meters.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, that's still more than
Even-
12 meters.
Even still, I think the argument that, or
My
the-
point is that I feel like we should have the jump on them because at the very least their eyes have to adjust to what's happening.
All right. Well, my point is there's a single bottleneck of entry into the room. Even though they've called out something, the first person who comes down. Put it this way: Braccio and Jeb aren't going to wait for 3 guys to
Yeah,
go into the room and find
That was
Linus
kind of my point.
before having a chance to do something.
Okay. So, I think the compromise then will be without. I don't want to get too lawyered here, but
Wait,
I think
I'm not trying to lawyer. I'm just trying.
have,
It's just-
you can have the jump on the first guy who comes down the stairs. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that
So like
probably
the
makes
first guy
sense.
who comes down is like he gets to about here and you know he's there, and then there's going to be another 2 following him. So, I guess you can pick amongst just like Gerard. You probably can't do anything in this case.
Well,
'cause
I'm
you're
too
still
far
holding this
away
guy.
regardless.
So Braccio or Jeb, I mean, whoever's going to be more likely to attack from this situation.
Wasps.
See, I kind of just want to let them take care of Gerard now, because I'm in a robe and I'm in the dude's good graces. Like,
So you argue for having like an extra initiative turn, and you're not going to use it. You're stressing me out over here. Like,
Fine. I'll just use it, alright?
should I let them lawyer this?
I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
I would thought you might have, but
How are you going to?
I'm biding my time.
Let me look at my stats here. Okay, look. I would like to. If I remember correctly, I think Lauren is out and about, like scouting for us.
Your plan was to summon Lauren and send her out when you wanted to signal to Vincent that you needed help.
Oh, okay, right. So I can still summon it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to summon Lauren with her sharp beak pointing directly at this guy's eye.
Okay. We haven't exactly figured out what kind of damage she does.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
As in, is this a method for you to get her up and away, kind of thing, as soon as
No, this is a method for me to.
Kill a guy with a bird.
You're using her as a weapon.
Yeah, basically, I want her to strike him with such force that she enters his skull.
Okay. So I will want you to roll your spellcasting skill,
Mhm.
or is it your summoning skill?
Probably summon.
Oh, no, you don't need your summoning actually. Sorry, no, you roll your spellcasting.
Okay.
Roll your spellcasting.
Okay. Flat?
Are you trained?
Roll a flat. Yeah, no, he's very trained in spellcasting.
Good.
Yeah, this is just an attack roll. Roll a flat.
Are you fucking serious?
It's a start.
What?
Oh.
No, that's a actually. No, that's a success because it's a ranged attack. So
Yeah, but just so you understand, that's a D12.
it's not the best roll. I'll tell you that.
But it's
much.
not. It's not relevant. It's not relative to the size of the dice. It's for
No,
a success,
no.
no matter what happens.
But a
Yeah,
raise
I know.
means he gets extra damage, but in this case he doesn't. So we've got to figure out what kind of damage this actually does. So you'll be ranged, a quick macro range damage.
Just really short, just really quick comment here. This seems to be like not the first crit fail on his skill die that Jeb has rolled this game.
Yeah.
Fairly certain there have been 1, 2, 3. Oh, there was a 2 in the stealth test. Sorry, my bad. I thought almost every roll from you tonight. Anyway, okay, cool. That's just, you got bad luck, bro. Yeah. So,
Alright, so what's going on?
didn't mean to derail.
So you're using the quick macro ranged damage.
Yeah.
So number of weapon dice 2. Now I was just looking through the spells, and this is kind of like a bolt attack, for lack of a better term. But Lauren's a little bird. She's not really typically
she's a
a
big
weapon.
She's a
Well,
raven.
raven.
But like compare a raven to a bolt of lightning, for example, that you would normally throw
I guess so.
at a dude.
Would you
So-
really normally throw a bolt of lightning at a dude?
If you're Zeus.
You generally would, yeah. So yeah, one sec. I just need to check this guy's stats. Yeah, make it the die size 4, 2d. So we're rolling a 2d4 damage.
So ranged damage, 4
Yep.
dice.
So it's 2 dice,
Okay.
and it should then say die size.
Yeah. 4.
Make that 4.
And then
just-
modifier.
0,
Raise on attack roll. 1 for yes.
0.
Okay.
Close. Close. But Lauren does not manage to damage this guy. So he probably goes more on the sound than the sight, because his eyes are adjusting to the light as he comes down. But he just hears this swoosh, and on instinct just kind
Yeah, I
of
can
flails.
picture him going. And
Yeah.
she's just like trying to claw at him.
So she's going at full speed and misses. What does she do after that? Like, does she just hit the wall and as
No,
she does?
look.
Because she's like a...
She's not that savage. I
An
feel like
Eldritch
she's
Raven?
gonna try and harass him, but
Okay.
he's just swatting her away.
Okay, fair enough. I really don't know how to incorporate this mechanically, but so the other 2 guys make their way down. So this guy kind of freaked out a bit, and he'll make his way into there. This guy will end up here, and then this fellow somewhere behind them. Now we will deal initiative. So Steve, do you want to open up the initiative order on your side as well? It's just the clock button on the the left-hand side.
Clock button on the left hand. There's a clock button on the left hand
The
side.
toolbar. The toolbar to open the initiative.
Oh, yeah. What?
So the view.
Did-
Sorry,
dice
sorry,
roller.
sorry.
Boop, boop, boop.
Sorry, I don't want to derail, but Bracho would have just been watching that attack,
Yeah.
and he's still trying to figure out what he would do when the second person comes down. So the fact that 2 and 3 come down and then we're rolling initiative, to me that feels like we're skipping ahead one. I said I'm biding my time. I'm not necessarily.
Well,
ready.
This is all happening pretty quickly. Like, I don't want to give you too much time to sit and think, because like the second guy is coming right, like they're all basically on the ladder, one right after the other. They're in a
The
rush.
compromise is that we only got a jump on the first guy.
Okay, sure. All good. Roll initiative.
I have the turn order pane open.
Yep. So I'm going to deal initiative now.
That, for the record, that opened when you clicked on it.
Oh, cool. Okay. So there we go. So here's our turn order. Ignoring Vincent's in the turn order for now, but he probably won't act just yet.
Hang on,
So,
it's not
Gerard.
on my screen.
Sorry.
it hasn't refreshed on my screen.
That's weird.
Mine neither.
Did it for me, but I'm a GM.
You guys can't see the order changing?
That's right.
I'm not seeing any order at all.
Blank.
Yeah, white.
What? Anyway, look, you're gonna have to take my word for it. I'm not
Okay.
cheating. Gerard, you're first.
I can attest. I can see the ability of it.
So yeah, you're here, Gerard. You're doing your thing with Chthonic Leader Man.
Or attempting to.
So what's your action going to be?
I would see if I could get a grip on him properly.
Okay.
And if I do, I would knock him out.
Okay. So
Either by a physical move or slamming his face into the wall that I'm quite close to.
yeah, fair enough. So make the same roll as before. Start with your fighting.
Yes.
Is there a bonus because he's already in a position of advantage?
So advantage. Yeah, you can take a plus. I mean, you'll probably hit him anyway, but you can take a +2 to this.
Okay. It was fighting, wasn't it?
Yeah, just fighting.
Modifier 2?
Yes.
14.
Man, we almost got out of here.
Cool. So again, you want to roll. So /R.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
D4 plus D6, which represents the fact that you've got a raise here on this attack.
So D4 plus D6.
What's
Yes.
his aim? What's his target?
The enemy's toughness.
7.
Cool. So success.
Woohoo!
So not a massive success. This guy's still conscious. So I don't. Do you choke him out, or like what's the actual method here?
I think going for quickness and ease, I would have just grabbed his head in my hand and just gone to the closest wall.
Okay. So somehow, maybe either he's managed to roll his shoulder like in front of his face first, or like get a leg up or something. You still succeed, so you do bash his head against the wall, but he doesn't fall completely unconscious. So he's shaken.
So he's quite dazed.
He's messed up. He's injured, but he's not unconscious. He's not out. He's not incapacitated just yet.
Okay.
So Bracho, you're next.
So can we see what weapons these three have?
So the two guys in green have come down with they've pulled swords as they've come down. This guy here doesn't look like he doesn't seem to be armed with anything specific.
So that's the guy I'm aiming for.
Okay.
Spellcaster.
The guy with the caster.
I'm thinking that I get a move and an action, right?
Correct.
So I'm thinking that Bracho will do a very 80s style. Oh, that's the wrong character. Do a very 80s style, like roll over the table.
Like an old man roll.
Yeah. And like hoik himself over the
Straight
table.
onto the little chair there.
Kind of thing, yeah. So he's sitting on the chair, if that's cool. And then
Sure.
he very reluctantly casts his wasp spell at spellcaster. At non melee armed.
The non-armed guy.
Yeah.
Sure. No, not a worry. So that is your spellcasting skill. Just roll that for me.
Let me just double check. So I've got 6 power points because I haven't recharged since the beach.
Sure. So
Did
it
we-
costs you 2 per cast. So you've got 3 more under your belt.
Did we say we like when we were at the bar and all, because we were waiting for nightfall and stuff like that?
You did have some time on your hands. There's specific rules on how it recharges, but if you feel like you've had sufficient downtime, I'd be okay to say that you've replenished your power points. If you took some time to like unwind and maybe meditate a little bit, that'd be fine.
How many power points do we have?
The stock is 10, and you can basically take I think it's basically an edge as you level up that can give you more points.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I think in the time that we got back from the beach and went to the bar and waited for nightfall and watched and everything, I think Jeb would have found like a quiet, Thrasher would have found like a quiet spot to spend an hour just with his thoughts.
Sure,
Or
that's fine.
lack of thoughts, per se.
Yeah.
Cool. All right,
So-
so here comes the spellcasting roll.
Just chuck a spell casting.
Ooh.
I'm afraid you missed, sir. So you summon up these ethereal elemental wasps and just. But maybe he's kind of somewhat familiar with the action of a spellcaster and just manages to kind of see coming and evades and just. They all like disperse on the back wall and disappear into the ether once again. It would be the Peacekeeper next, however, he's not really aware of what's going on just yet. So we'll skip past him, and we'll make Jebediah next.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this first.
Sure.
With Lauren already out and trying to harass this guy,
Mhm.
do I need to roll spell casting again to get her to do something?
This is the thing, like, I don't honestly know because we haven't taken the time to establish
Yeah.
Lawrence
Absolutely.
functionality in a combat situation.
Yeah. It's a problem.
It's almost like she's her own. Like, is she completely like psychically controlled by you, or does she become her own identity once she's summoned? Like, what's her function?
I was sort of running under the assumption that she's both. Like, if I don't interact with her, she'll go about her own business.
Okay. With like whichever whichever directive you last left her with.
I guess, but
Okay.
also with a bit of a mind of her own. But I'm also wary of being OP as a result of basically having like
Yeah.
two attackers. You know.
Well, I mean, it's not OP as such. However, I haven't necessarily designed the encounter with Lauren in mind.
Yeah.
However, we can just grant it for this time around and kind of figure it out. She's not going to be like super epically strong, but maybe
Yeah.
she causes some problems.
She
for this
could
guy.
do enough to at least distract him enough to stop him from attacking or something.
So, how
Yeah,
about
you,
from?
you could say that maybe she's maybe a debuffer when
Mm.
she's working on her own, but when I control her, she acts like a weapon.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a token for her. To perform as of the next round. Does that sound fair and reasonable?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So for now, Jebediah, just act of your own accord.
Okay. I'm going to cast Fear on.
Well, that's an AoE
yeah.
spell, isn't it?
So there's Lauren harassing and haranguing this guy.
Yeah, I'll cast Fear on this guy.
Okay. So fear works. I think it actually works in an AOE, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure it did last time because we had the. You
I
had
just
the
didn't let
option
it
that
go
it
to
could have
everyone.
hit me
Yes.
instead of
Correct.
the guy
Correct.
that did hit. So
So yeah. So that's just a spell casting roll.
ooh,
Okay. That succeeds. Very nice. So now I've got to remember the rules for fear again. And you rolled that with a raise. So good job.
So raised.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
That's my favorite thing to do. It does.
Rares?
Whoops.
That's my favorite type of pay. Rares.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
I had the page and then I lost it. Isn't that just classic?
Yeah, classic Gluber.
It's so annoying.
Look.
So, alright, here we go. So, certain creatures and horrific scenes challenge your character's resolve, that's fine. A success on the spirit roll means the character manages to overcome the situation and carry on. A failed fear roll depends on whether the cause of the roll was grotesque or terrifying. Whatever, that's just gibberish. So first, can you roll a d3, Jeb? Because it works in an AoE and it hits a d3 target.
Flash RD3.
Yes, /RD3, yep. So it messes up. I assume you wouldn't aim for the one that Lauren was working on?
That's correct.
All right, so we'll say, mate, this guy, this sword dude over here, he was getting feared. Well, he gets affected by the fear, I suppose.
This guy.
This bloke over there, yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yep.
Works for you. So
Yep.
he needs to make a spirit check, which is his D6. I'm just going to do it quick and dirty. /RD6.
Make it real dirty for me, baby.
So he fails,
Yes.
which means he has to roll on the fright table, which is a D20.
Awesome.
How does a raise affect this, though? Here. I think. I'm so sorry that this rule is still not familiar to me.
Take your time, man.
Extras typically wild cards must roll on the fright table. Hang on, extras are typically panicked wild cards. Okay, so typically panicked. The character immediately moves his full pace plus the running die away from the. So he becomes shaken. All right, yeah, so it's fine because he's an extra. He's a bit plebeian, so he's of a shaken status. So yeah, he just is it the same like tendrils of like air tendrils that you form? Is that your typical way of casting this, Jebediah?
My spirit, my arcane fairy floss.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, this guy lets out a few screams and yells, and he runs in a bit of a circle, and yeah, he's really wide-eyed in the dark and kind of staring around intently, like his gaze changes directions really rapidly. He's still functional as a human, but he's freaked out. Okay, so bad guy's turn. So we'll stay with this bloke who has to act under with the shaken thing, which is classic. So shaken means he has to make a check before he can act. I think it's spirit. I'm just gonna double check. Shaken characters are rattled. They aren't. Yep. On their action, they must recover from being shaken with a spirit roller, which is again D6/RD6. So he fails. He can't act. He's just still screaming like a crazy. He can't do anything. He fails really hard. This guy, he's going to make his way. Get out of the way, Lauren. He's going to come at you, Jeb. He's got enough movement to make it, I would say, with his sword. He's going to come and have a swing at you. Because that's what he'd do. I think he's a D8 fighting. I'll double check.
Quick, Lauren, use defend. It's super effective.
/D8. I've got macros for this, but I just can't be bothered. What's your parry, Jeb?
Look. Let's just say it's really good. Base 2.
What's the total, including any mods? Or is it just 2? Okay, so he succeeds that far. So, what's he? I think he's got a short sword? Yeah, okay. So he needs to roll DR plus D6 /RD8. Oops, D8 plus D6. 8. What is your toughness, Jeb?
Listen, it's 5.
Okay,
That's one
so
up.
he maybe, I don't know, he inflicts a flesh wound somewhere.
Okay.
It's not debilitating, but it hurts a lot and it's distracting.
Yep.
And that makes you shaken. Oh, yeah. And so then this guy, he's pretty much going to stay here. He's going to cast a spell in Bracho's direction. Because that's what he'd do. What does he have? He's going to cast a spell at you. So he's going to do... Can I be bothered doing it this time? Yeah, let's do it. Spellcaster. This looks much better. Spell. He casts a spell. Ah, 10. It's a D10 he's rolling. Haha. Oh, dang. What's your... No, it's just a fail. Okay. So, he kind of summons... He weaves his hand around this thing, and like this creepy, green, goopy, like eyeball thing forms between his hands. And he just thrusts it out towards you, Bracho, but it's a bit misdirected and splatters on the wall behind you. And utterly fails and misses.
Hot.
Oh, there's this guy too. Were you still holding him, Gerard, at the end of your action?
No, I let him slide to the floor after I smacked his head into the wall.
Okay, so he's actually still semi-functional.
Well,
he is shaken.
after I thought he was.
Yeah. So he is shaken. I'm gonna check his spirit. His spirit's a D10. So he's gonna roll his spirit to try overcome his shaken status. He does not. So he's still kind of just like breathing heavily against the wall, still trying to gather himself and be able to actually do something. So he's just like, up against here somewhere, just breathing heavily. And that's it. That's all the bad guys for now. They have all taken their turns.
Okay.
So now I've got to redeal initiative, don't I? Haha.
Do it. Redeal it with Jeb at the top.
You were close. So, Peacekeeper Chambray still doesn't know what's going on. He's still in hiding. He would have been first. But it moves to Jebediah next, as luck would have it.
Yeah.
The bad guys are doing terribly.
Good. Okay, so I'd like to just shoot this guy in the face.
Which one?
The guy that's.
Yeah, point blank.
May I suggest going for someone? I guess I can't really do
Kind
that.
of in his
Yeah, I
face.
kind of would not like to die.
Yeah,
next
that's fair.
turn, you know.
But if
Alright.
if he's down, I can't. Oh no, never mind. Keep going.
So, yeah, roll shooting. Actually, no, you're shaken. So you go to your character sheet and click the macro next to your spirit stat. I'm sorry, bro. These
Listen,
look,
flat.
I didn't make the rules. Just flat, yeah. Okay, you're fine. All right, now roll your shooting.
Fucking right.
You managed to like ignore the pain searing in your
2.
arm and gather yourself and pull your gun.
Hey.
Success.
Yep.
So
5.
use the thingamabob, the ranged damage macro.
Yeah.
Does he get a bonus for point blank?
I don't think so.
I feel like at point blank, if it's a success hit, it should just be insta death.
Well, not necessarily, because like he's in his face with the sword and there's flailing going around, and Jeb's been injured. Like,
Yeah,
it's
fair enough.
not it's not that
Alright.
easy. And like
So
he's
number
within
of weapon
range
dice?
to swat the gun away. Sorry,
Number of weapon dice.
2.
Roll 20. Weapon dice size 4.
No, your gun does 2d6, I believe, so it'll be a 6, and then modifier of 1.
1. Oh, baby. Raise an attack roll. 0 again.
Yes, 0. All right, you hit him. So he is all up in your grill. Like you inflict a non-fatal wound. So maybe you get him like in the point of the shoulder or something like that. He's shaken up, as it were. Like he's pretty hurt, and he probably staggers back a couple feet. There's like somewhere here, but he's still alive.
I don't
but
like that.
That hurt him a lot. So Bracho's next.
I don't have a melee weapon. In fact, when we rolled up the characters, I did. I have a staff, and I'm wearing leather armor. But at no point in the game have I ever talked about having a staff. So I can't just magic one up now.
Did you
I
spend money on a staff?
I did.
Did you bring it down here though, because you were trying to camouflage?
Yeah, I didn't, right? So
Nah, I think it would have been a much more obvious giveaway if you said that you explicitly had brought it down here. Brother Simon doesn't need a staff.
yeah, exactly. That's right. Fuck. So I throw my devouring swarm at the middle of these two guys over here
Sure.
because I have a small radius.
Yeah, so it can affect up to D3. So yeah, roll spellcasting.
Now, is there any darkness penalties being applied in here at all?
I haven't been to anyone yet, and it would be unfair to do so now. You're all playing on a level playing field though, so
Okay.
yeah.
Next time, like when we're level 2 or whatever it is, I have dark sight, which halves the darkness.
Ah, okay.
So,
Well, then I am probably slightly hindering you. But look, there are sconces. Like once your eyes adjust, you can see well enough.
Yeah.
And the trapdoor's open, so
Let's get all of the sconces out.
that
And
could
if you recall back to our very brief, what was it? Savage Land, like 4-part series or whatever it was, were all about sconces.
Oh my god, sconces.
Remember
I do love a sconce.
All right, here comes my spell casting.
Do it, bro. Cool.
10.
Nicely done.
Savage.
2d3 damage. Wait, you want me to roll a d3 to see how many I hit?
Yes.
Oh, do throw.
So
I
you
need
hit
all
both.
three
You
of
hit
them.
both of them.
Savage.
And the damage is
And you get a because you rolled a raise as well, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes.
So roll a d6.
on top of that.
Yeah, it'll
5.
add to the 5 that you got.
Okay. 1d6
Yes, just a straight d6.
plus 5. 11 in total.
Oh yeah, cool. I get you. 11. All right, very good. That's pretty nice.
Cool.
So yeah, that's a max on that d6.
Mm-hmm.
So my wasps have got a taste for this spell casting goopy eye, and like, yeah, I'm gonna come after you.
Cool. So they are both shaken. So yeah, the wasps like dart around them and cause a big fuss, and similar to on the beach earlier this morning, they start eating away at these guys. These guys somehow managed to resist it. Maybe they're a bit more like higher level chthonic, and managed to deal with it and swat them away. They're not pleased. They look pretty ragged now,
What does shaken do again? It means you have to roll spirit to be able to do the next thing.
you have to roll spirit at the start of your move to be able to do anything. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If you roll
And-
a raise on damage, you would have just killed them because it would have inflicted a wound.
How do I roll a raise on damage? Just a 4.
So that 11 you rolled is compared to their toughness. Toughness is a stat everyone has.
Yep. And so if I had doubled that toughness stat,
So if you rolled a
damage.
12, no, if you roll a 12, so a raise is always 4 above target. So to
okay, without metering, I almost murdered
you
one of them, or
almost
both of
killed
them.
them. Yeah, you almost killed them. Okay, so Gerard's next.
Oh, Gerard.
You can still hear this guy moaning against the wall. He
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be completely unconscious.
Can you know how you can move to then attack?
Yeah.
Can you attack and then decide to move afterwards?
No, movement comes first, I believe.
There's no option to change that.
I don't know 100%.
Like it's all good if you can't.
I honestly can't. I don't know 100%. There are a lot of rules for combat, so. Character.
How many wounds do wild cards get again?
3. You guys have 3 wounds. On top, you got shaken and 3 wounds.
Yeah.
So it's a free action. So I mean, I guess you could move afterwards.
Because what I'm thinking is basically I try like a swift punch to the guy on the floor, and then make a dart over to roughly this spot in cover,
Okay.
if that's a feasible distance.
Yeah, ish.
Which I feel like it would be, because it's not actually any further than before when I ran towards the guy to get him in the chokehold.
Maybe, or the table. I suppose you could use as partial cover.
Well, I was mostly using the barrels so I could then dart out and attack on my next move.
Yeah, I mean that's like half the room nearly because of your reduced movement. You can get close, but not quite. I think. But anyway, so
Well, that's what I was thinking
I think you
anyway.
Can move. Sorry.
That's what I was thinking to do. If I can't, that's all good, but I'm just...
Yeah, I think you can. It doesn't stipulate order, so we'll say you can move after performing an action.
Okay, in that case, that's what I'll try and do. I'll try to either kick him to actually fully render him unconscious, or punch him, or...
Do you have any weapons on you right now, Gerard? Do we stipulate that?
Yes, when we came down, I had my rapier hidden somewhere. Actually, I didn't de-arm at all, I just hid them.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about that. So, but still, you just want to punch this guy?
Well, the idea was to not kill him from the start, so I want to try to keep him alive for now.
Sure. Okay. Well, yeah, just start with rolling your fighting.
No, hang on, let's try it here. I assume zero modifiers at this point, still?
No, he's not really moving much, so another +1.
Okay.
Is that what I gave you last time? I feel like I did.
I think so, yeah. 12.
Okay, that's pretty solid.
Nice.
Where is he, Voids? I'm gonna his parry. So that's a math. That's a single raise. So /R D4 plus D6.
Scotch water. Well,
D4 plus D6.
Yeah. You're probably gonna knock him out. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, just. But yeah, so he's out.
Okay, cool.
So he's got a wound. He is toast for the purpose of this battle. So yeah, I guess you just give him a nice swift slug right between the eyes, and he just slumps down the wall.
Yep. In that case, can I then move to about there, or is that going a bit too far considering my lack of movement?
You kind of would have had to hang on. You kind of would have had to move a little bit back to hit him.
Yeah, okay,
I guess. So you're probably pretty close. You're close enough to maybe dive and just get behind if
Have
someone
at least
hasn't
partial
held you.
cover.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I would think so.
Alright, cool.
All right, cool. So now it's the baddie's turn again. You what, mate?
fight me, IRL.
I've been asking, but you never come around, mate. All right, so this guy is toast. Whatever, we'll just leave him there. We'll deal with this guy first, who I think everyone is now shaken in this fight, in terms of bad guys.
Yeah, they are.
So
Shaken is-
they're pretty shaken, bro. I can't remember his spirit. It's D6, wasn't it? Yeah.
He just had a revolver shot in towards his face, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
So he can't act. He's shaken and failing hard at life. So this bloke here is probably going to try run a Gerard, but he's also shaken because of Bracho's wasps. Finally, someone does something. Shit. So he's going to run a Gerard, seeing him coming around after knocking out his boss. He's pretty pissed. He's got a D8 in fighting. So what is your parry, Mr. Gerard?
A base of 7 with a mod of 2.
Well, shit. So he just clanks. Maybe because you're not armed, you evade it with just a bit of speed we don't expect from you. Some unforeseen nimbleness from the older man with a bit of a limp.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I have a
Something
danger
like that?
sense edge. I don't know if that affects combat.
No, you don't really
think
need
it
to
does.
invoke it anyway because
Yeah.
he just
He
missed
didn't
you
reach it
entirely.
anyway. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So this guy's still hanging out here. He's going to try his spell casting again. He's going to try the same spell he had before. Come on. Do something for me. What up? So he's done some nasty. He's going for another poison eyeball of goop.
Towards who?
Towards this
Is that
man.
the Eye of Drake thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I know.
Oh, can you all roll D6? Because 2 out of 3 of you get hit by this. I want to decide who it manages to get hold of.
I got all the 5.
Okay. So Bracho and Jeb. So it comes in this direction and kind of splatters across the table.
The
Yeah, what
lockbox.
No, maybe. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, we'll get back to that. So what did I give this thing? It's a bolt attack, basically.
Now
Interesting.
I have deflection. I just noticed on my sheet.
Push it
How
all
does that-
towards
They need a
Jeb.
reroll?
How does
Sorry.
deflection work, Roger?
So I was just reading up before. Where did it go? D. Deflection. Deflection powers work in a variety of ways. Some actually deflect incoming attacks. Cough, cough, hint, hint. Others blur the target's form or produce other illusionary effects. The end result is always the same, misdirecting incoming melee and missile attacks from the user. A standard success, so it's a spellcasting thing. Attackers must Attackers must subtract 2 from any fighting, shooting, or other attack rolls. A raise increases the penalty to -4.
The only thing is it's out of the initiative order, so I don't know whether that's something you have to like cast in advance. Like I expect I need to have deflection readied, as it were. Does it say if it's a constant effect or a spell you need to channel and keep maintained or anything like that? Or
It says its range is touch.
okay,
Its duration is 3. Mystical
So here, I
Shield,
found
Gust
it
of
here
Wind,
as
Phantom
well.
Servant. Just because I've never actually played a spellcaster in any RPG before, so I don't
deflection
know.
powers work in a variety of ways. Others blur the target's With the standard success, attackers must subtract 2 from any fighting, shooting, or other attack rolls directed at the user. A raise, okay. I feel like it's something you'd have to cast in preparation. Like you summon a shield or you make yourself ethereal or something like that. So
Okay, no worries.
for
I know
next,
this now.
yeah. So anyway, he might not even hit. He's got to roll 2d6.
Well, he might not damage. He's hit.
He might not actually damage you guys. Yeah. So here we go.
2d6.
So what's your toughness, guys? Brusho and Jeb?
5.
5.
Now, I think... So you would both get hit by this. I think you can use a Benny to obfuscate damage.
Well, yes.
I'll use all of the bennies.
I'm just going to double check.
Do we recoup bennies at the start of every session?
Yeah, so you all have 3 Bennies.
We all got the tree.
So we should have been using them up to this point. We've been wasting them.
Yes.
Oh, burners.
Bernies, oh my god. I'm fairly sure you can. Bennies, you can use Bennies to reroll any trait test. Yep. Bennies cannot be spent on tables, damage rolls. Yeah, that's fine. Bennies can also be used to save your bacon from deadly attacks. See damage complete. That's a soak roll.
Gerard, are you listening to this? Bennies can be re-rolled. Can use to re-roll trait attacks. Trait. Whatever he said.
You can use
Them
Bennies to
words.
reroll trait tests.
Okay. Why would I want to do that right now?
Not right now,
Ah, okay.
but next time you try to make an attack that like completely foils the plans that we've been putting into place.
You could have re-rolled before when you failed.
Yes, I
and
get it.
Busted everything wide open. So you can use it to avoid like death damage.
But not just regular damage.
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, burner.
You know, for success. Yeah, a player may spend a Benny at any time to remove their shaken status. So you can
Ooh.
become unshaken. Urgh. Oh my god. Urgh. So yeah, you can use a Benny to become non-shaken, but you will still take a wound.
Yeah.
Well, actually, sorry, Bracha, you'll become shaken now unless you spend a Benny. Jeb, you'll become shaken again. Worst case, best case. If you don't use a Benny, you'll also inflict a wound now, or have a wound inflicted. So, do you spend Bennies?
I will spend a Benny.
Okay, so you stay shaken. Bracho, a Benny.
I'm just shaking.
You're going to take shaken.
Correct.
Cool.
So, last question. Did
Yep.
you legitimately grant me a Benny before for playing to my poor charisma character?
Depends how critically you'll end up needing it.
Okay, look, if I run
Can't
out,
say that. I would have taken it.
Yeah, alright.
Well.
Twisted my arm.
Okay, so I've still got 3. We're good. I'm going to abuse them now.
Now, Bracho and Jeb, can you also make a vigor test for me very quickly?
A who?
No.
A vigor trait test. So
Oh,
just click
okay.
the macro button next to vigor.
Oh,
You both succeed. So you're both fine. So this nasty acidic thing is like burning your skin and stuff a little bit, but
Burning our robes, perhaps.
burning your robes and causing some grossness. Yeah, so there's holes in your robes and it hurts a bit. Some of it's getting through, but you're no worse for wear other than the shaken effects I described. So that brings us back to the to another turn. So add turn. Lauren's in the turn order now.
Yes.
Let's deal
Hey.
with next.
Lauren's the only
Lauren
one I
in
can
the
see.
third order, but that's it.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Sick. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're on the other thing. You know what? We'll have to fix it for next time.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't worry about it for now.
It's too much of a hassle to fix now, to be quite honest. Alright, so back at the top of the turn order, Jebediah acts first this time.
Okay. And presumably, I imagine you haven't said this, but I'm just sort of like speaking for you here. if I decide to direct Lauren, I imagine she won't get a turn of her own.
Yeah, that would change her directive. So that she's
Yeah,
in the
that seems
turn
fine.
order. If you don't tell her what to do, she'll
Yeah.
do what she wants. But if you instruct her,
Yeah.
so she knows her directive is to like piss other dudes off because that's what
Yeah.
you summoned her for. So
Yeah.
if you don't tell her otherwise, she'll keep trying to do that.
100%. Cool. Look, I'd like to try and shoot this guy in the face again.
Okay.
Probably the best move.
So you're still shaken, so you'll have to start with spirit trait test.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading chat there.
Is it words happening in chat right now?
Well, maybe it's a direct message.
This guy.
Listen.
Are you guys scheming, meta scheming behind my back?
What's the spirit test pass? Is it a 4 still?
Just yeah, 4 is a pass.
And hang on. Okay.
So just
Yeah,
click
right.
the button next to spirit.
I'll just roll it. I was gonna say, can I use a Benny just to
You
get
could.
past anyway? But look, I'm just gonna roll it. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, you got
Pass
it.
anyway.
You passed that, right?
Now again, you can roll your shooting to have another crack at this guy.
Let's do it, babe.
Good
I
roll.
love you, babe.
That was
And that's with a
Ooh,
raise.
nice.
Oh,
This guy's toast. You mess him up, I'm pretty
so
sure.
good with his gun. Yeah.
You are
So-
surprisingly good with it.
Right.
This
only
guy.
one that's
Here.
surprisingly close.
That's
So
true.
boom, this guy's dead. I'm actually gonna take him out of the scene
Woohoo!
because just to make it easier to signify. So yeah, maybe we aiming for the face.
Look, I would just look. Maybe after a bit of a tussle, maybe he comes in for another swipe, and I just like kind of get an arm under his wrist, so he sort of like nothing connects,
Uh-huh.
and the end of my revolver just ends up like there,
Nice.
and
Yeah, and he just has like this strange. He's like dead on his feet kind of look, and just collapses back, and just collapses on his back. Nice. Fantastic.
I'm glad we did this
So-
at night.
it's just so good.
So now the Peacekeeper is next.
Who still doesn't
And
know
he-
what's going on?
No, he's within earshot. He's heard
Oh,
gunshots
Yeah, that's true.
from Jebediah. However, he doesn't enter the room. You hear a tussle ensuing
Oh, shit.
above your heads, basically.
This guy.
How many dudes were there?
More than have come downstairs. They
Okay.
ostensibly, someone was left to stand guard.
Yeah, ostensibly.
Only one.
So I can
That's
actually,
my favorite type of stencil blur.
I can actually use because the Peacekeeper's a wild card like you guys, so I can actually just go like this. So he's messing someone up. Wait, no, that's not even the right attack. But yeah, I'm just gonna roll. This is actually better. All right, so he messes someone up with a raise. Let's say that guy. Okay, so you guys from underneath, you hear like the familiar thwink of like a crossbow bolt being dislodged from a crossbow,
Nice.
and then yeah, 2d6. Yeah, that was a raise. Boom. So yeah, there's a bit of a fight going on above your heads. And yeah, awesome. So you hear this thunk and you know, like you know, footsteps running around the place above your head. Something else is going on up there, and some screaming, and yeah, and it's Bracho's turn.
So can I do something
Who wrote
like
dead cultist?
I did? That's where the dude died, right?
Yeah, but it's funny.
And so, Gerard, are you? Where did? Hang on, I'm confused. Where did Leaderman die?
Ah, he's knocked out on the wall.
He's
over
knocked
here.
out. You can't see where I'm pointing at the screen. He's here.
All right, we'll do it your way.
He's unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
He's knocked out.
Sir knocked out.
That's my favorite kind of at.
So.
Does anyone have necromancy?
What does? Just in terms of understanding things.
Yeah.
It looks like my 2d4 is hard. Is going to struggle to do anything serious to that dude, to that spellcaster.
I don't know how much to give away. This
Well,
guy
just
looks more armored. This bloke, because he's like a footman. He's a melee guy, so he's got better armor on than
But-
this guy.
I guess what I was saying before was the 11 damage that I rolled before
Yeah.
didn't, like, it shook them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I rolled that sort of style of damage again, it would murder them. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, correct.
All right. The wasps are back. I unleash unholy wasps in the direction of spellcaster.
Oh, actually, you're
Oh,
roll
yeah.
spirit for me.
Spirit. I am not very spiritful.
You're not very spirited right now. So, unfortunately, you're just a bit rattled from that goop of acid that hit you before.
Well, that Benny's being applied.
Unless you want to look, I'll let you retroactively spend a Benny to make that attack work if you like.
You're spirited away.
Oh, snap. Yeah, I totally spend that Benny.
Cool. So that means that
Thank
we'll just-
you, oh gracious GM.
So we'll count that attack roll then as a success. Are you
Yay.
aiming it at the spellcaster?
Yes.
Cool. So, yeah, roll its damage, 2d4.
Oh,
Cool. He is a dead man.
oh,
Aha.
Waspin.
So tell us about what happens.
The wasps do that awesome sort of like scene from Twister where the tornado totally eats the house on this guy and just leave like a skeleton standing there in that position.
Jesus.
Yeah, is that cool? Is that alright?
That's
Can I do
cool
that?
as me.
And then Bracho turns to Jeb and locks eyes and then goes, this again.
Ah, jeez.
Oh jeez, it's just turned into a blowing of the gun.
Cool. Nice work. Hang on,
Yay.
I'm bringing in the thing.
What, the tentacles?
Oh, nice.
So this guy's just like a husk of a man lying on the floor. Just bones and a bit of robe left over. He's very dead. Cool, so that was your turn. So there's a couple baddies left.
Well, there's one that's knocked out and one that's fighting me.
Yes, correctamundo. So this dude's D8 fighting, I'm pretty sure. Yep. He's also shaken, so he's D6 in spirit first. So he passes on that, so slash D8. He Fails to hit you once more. So he's just swinging. He's probably a bit panicked right now and swinging in a bit of a frantic state, and he's not really sticking to the sword training that he has, and he's missing wildly. Lauren will be next.
Yes.
So Lauren really only has a single target. So whoosh. So I don't even know what Lauren's going to do, really. Like, maybe this guy needs to make like a vigor check against her harassment, and then if he fails, then he's screwed. Like, he's just going to have a minus something. Yeah, that's fair. He'll roll vigor.
Look, Lauren
Against
only
what,
knows how to
though?
fuck guys up and chew bubblegum.
Okay, so he passes. So yeah, Lauren's pecking at this guy, but he's just moving really frantically, trying to deal with Gerard, and seemingly ignoring Lauren despite her best attempts to put this dude off his things. So Gerard, you'll be next.
Mm-hmm. Fighting?
Yep.
Yeah. And 0 modifier against this guy?
Yes.
7.
Cool. So 7. Oh my, that might not hit actually. Yeah, no, 7 doesn't hit. He manages to deflect. Wait, how are you attacking? Have you brought your? We'll say you had your rapier because
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't say you couldn't
my
have it.
rapier's out now, so I would have drawn that and trying to hit him.
So yeah, shink. So he manages to get his sword up in time somehow, despite all the noise going on around him, and he manages to knock it away and stay in the fight for now. Though he's pretty heavily outnumbered at this point in time. All right, so that means we're done for another turn. Man, what a showdown! Bracho, you're up again. So you've got one dude left, surrounded by the 3 of you and a crazy bird.
Don't use an AoE attack.
Well, you kind of pissed me off with your attack, where we were just about to walk out with like the Colt's blessings, but that's cool.
Now you can hold action as well, of course.
Well, I grabbed the skull off the mantle, and
Okay.
and I walk over towards this flailing foot soldier,
Okay.
and I just basically call out. I point at the skull, and then I point at him, and I say, "Yield."
Sounds like intimidation.
Sounds like the dude's shaking, and I'm waving a skull at him.
Nevertheless, intimidation.
Can you do combat intimidation?
Intimidation is a skill.
Savage.
Yeah, bro.
Any modifiers?
I think you need to roll it at in opposition to something of his. I'm just going to see what that is because I'm pretty sure he's going to be penalized for. Yeah. So you just roll a flat and I'll roll him with penalties.
Is that his spirit?
Yeah, his spirit. Ooh, dude. So I'm gonna roll him. So he's a spirit's D6. I'm gonna roll him at a mine. He's shaken and he's outnumbered. He's pretty. I'm thinking 2 or 3. He does have some buddies that are still hanging around. -3. Tie. It's a tie.
I win!
I don't know how a tie gets sorted out, actually.
Dude, ties always go to the player.
That's not how it works at all.
Dude, I just totally naturally crit successed that charm roll. So
Which? Now he's as scared as you are intimidating. You're not more intimidating than he is afraid. So
I'm fairly certain opposed rolls usually go to tied opposed rolls usually go to the player.
I feel like they normally go to the defender. So if anything, no. Well, that would mean I'm disagreeing with you basically.
And we all know GM settles all ties.
Yes. There is a thing on page 75, Test of Wills. I think.
That's what I'm looking at.
Sideshow Paradox reckons it always goes to the player.
Or Defender. He agrees with both of us.
Oh, right.
Because in this case, the Defender is the enemy.
Yeah.
Character makes an opposed roll against his target. The Defender uses... Oh, well, that's not actually your spirit to resist intimidation. The Game Master should modify both characters' rolls, which I did. It just says a success means the attacker gets a +2 to its next action. Doesn't really say what a success is. I feel like he was rolling to meet your target of 1. TBH. Can you look a little more pleased about that? So look, he's maybe more in just sheer panic and instinct than anything else. He's not quite giving up the fight yet.
And also maybe he's gone, it's a fake skull, dude.
And so the Peacekeeper's next. In the interest of moving things along, I'm not going to get into too much detail with what he's doing up there, but I'm just going to do a basic test on him. Okay, GG. So he's still tussling up there. Now you can hear the chink of steel on steel as a bit of a sword fight seems to have broken out. That's still ongoing. Jebediah, it's now your turn.
Alright, I think it's time to mop this guy up. Lauren is going into his skull. Let's do this.
Okay, so Lauren maybe does like a bit of a circle to get some momentum. Like she goes out. Whoops, I moved the skeleton. Kind of wheels out and around like in this kind of direction.
Comes
Then
over here and then lines up.
cool. Yeah. So since she's under your control, I'll ask you to roll spellcasting.
Yeah.
6.
That is a success because it's like a ranged attack, quote unquote. What did we say? What damage did I give you? 2d4 for her. That sounds right.
I think that's what it was.
That's the basic bolt.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, 2d6 is a basic bolt, but like she's a smaller bird.
Oh, what's the other one then? Not the bolt, because my wasps is the basis on the same spell.
Yeah. Oh, but I've modified it in a similar way where I've just taken it down a little bit because it's like a more advanced spell.
Mm.
But as you level up, that can do a full tasty cakes amount of damage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2d4. So use the ranged damage macro again. Jeb.
So, 2 weapon dice.
Yep.
D4.
Yep.
No modifier.
Look, this time you can take a +2
Yes.
because he's at the end of his proverbial tether.
Yes.
You got him. He's a dead man. Look, this is some pretty disgusting narrative that's about to happen. So look,
You know what happens?
take it away.
Lauren like flies all the way, almost like in the direction of knocked out man,
Yeah.
and she kind of does this weird, like hover somersault in the air that birds shouldn't be able to do, and then kind of just summons this unnatural speed with her wings tucked in and flies right towards this guy's eye, into his eye socket, and disappears in his head for a moment. And there's a pause of silence, and he's like, and the expression on his face is just like draining into blankness. And then his head starts twitching, and suddenly, and she comes out the other eye.
Oh,
And he
That
falls
is
to
so
the ground.
gross. So she ends up somewhere here. Just like maybe skimming past your head, Gerard.
Yeah.
Just have this come past as she comes out with like the momentum that she went in with.
Yeah,
Great
so I
matter.
just like stumbled back into the wall and
That is super gross.
yes. So I'm now
gross.
probably covered in grey matter.
Yeah, it's kind of grim. Even.
Yeah, you would actually have a bit of a splat on your face.
You.
Perfect. Very good. Awesome. So you've cleaned out this room more or less. You still can hear the noise of combat above you.
Alright, so Bracho grabs the scroll.
Okay.
I'm assuming Jeb would now grab the box. Actually, what is the condition of the box after the thing hit the table?
It's a very good question, Steve. Let's decide.
Can we now just smack it a couple times and it'll open?
Well, I'm gonna roll damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll that spell's damage against the lockbox.
The lockbox had stats?
Yeah, I'm kind of inventing it right now. But that's a ridiculously high roll. Like, what the hell, game? Can you make it a little bit hard for the players?
No.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, I'm trying to decide how strong this box would possibly be.
I think it's probably about a 10.
I was thinking a 10 myself. Medium shield has a toughness of 10. A lock has a toughness of 8. Heavy door. You know what? But look, I'm gonna have mine too. Yes, this acid is like eating through some of the desk and has spilt onto the lockbox. It has eaten through the top of the lockbox, but has seemed to have eaten its way through to some of the contents as well.
I was expecting that.
Yeah, in your face.
How much is in this exposed lockbox now?
If you're not going to rush up to Vincent and help him out and take the time to count it, you could do so. But it looks like a good chunk of gold.
Yeah, at a glance, like
It was a good chunk of gold. Like in the hundreds of GPs. Like several
Okay.
hundred GPs.
it
So,
was.
like, it was. I haven't decided how much is destroyed, but we'll figure
Yeah.
that out later.
Okay, cool.
Well-
So yeah,
At the sounds of combat and with this guy having just exploded in my face, I would probably run towards a trapdoor to go and help Vincent.
Okay.
Well, actually, not probably. I would.
That's very kind of you.
He
I would,
did.
take, I would take the bindings that we had Gerard in, and make my way over to knocked out guy and get him bound.
Yes.
Fair enough.
And I'm assuming Jeb would just revel in the glory of that exploded head, patting Lauren.
No, hang on. Where's I'd just like to recon something here before Bracho moves off. Jeb turns to Bracho, eyes locked, with Lauren returned to him, perched on his arm. and she squawks at him. That's what he's like.
Maybe this arm's better.
I can't believe in the middle of death, a combat to the death, you're having a pissing contest.
Look, he started it, man.
So look, I'm conscious of time.
Yeah.
There is still a little bit of combat going on. If you guys are happy to continue, I'm happy to do so as well. But I'll leave it up to your discretion as players.
I'm happy to pull the pin. I need to wrap it up.
Cool. Because it is like a momentary respite, so to speak.
Yeah.
So like there's this weird, compared to the noise that was happening before, it's kind of just it's hushed in comparison. You're all gathering your breath, and you can still hear like the noise going on above you, but everything's maybe just a little bit slow motion right now. You just had your own ordeal to cope with. So you got a couple of seconds reprieve. There's a lot going on. There's a lot you need to remember to do. Collect this stuff. Take the lockbox with you. Talk to this guy, maybe this dude you've knocked out,
And bound.
And bound. Yep. So maybe take him hostage. Whatever else have you. Who knows? But there's still some chthonics to get to sort out. So yeah, just like we fade to black on this room, with like just the noise above just kind of starting to muffle and fade out as well as we take it to black and end the scene for now. Cool.
Awesome. Well,
Bam.
Congratulations, everyone. We survived.
It was pretty saucy.
Perhaps
By
a
the
little,
It
luckily.
got a bit hairy.
By the skin of our teeth.
Cool. That was fun though. I have to say, I'm getting that combat dialed in.
Yeah, that was pretty
You
hot.
guys actually got a little bit hurt.
Well, I didn't.
Nah, dog.
Look, you got a
We're-
little bit hurt.
We're rock
No, I
stars.
didn't.
Benny, no, you did, but Benny's stopped you from getting too destroyed.
No.
I got shanked. broken.
I never
bad.
used the Benny. I never got hurt.
Yeah, but Jeb had to use 2.
Oh, yeah, Jeb did, but I don't care about Jeb.
Look. Did I
You're
use
gonna be
to?
that guy, huh?
Gerard does.
Yeah, you had to. I think you did at one stage.
Exploding mist roll.
I'm just playing with some macros. That's all.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that was good. So that was like an average difficulty fight that I threw at you guys, more or less. And it went fairly well.
It was good.
Retro Scarab runs. Is that a macro?
Yeah.
Oh man, you totally could have used that before. How did I miss that?
Cool. I got a 6, bro.
It's all happened now. But there we have it. Guys, seriously, you were so close to just walking out without any problems.
Don't remind me.
But look how valuable the situation is now. We've got a hostage. We've got some goods. We've taken out a lot of chthonics
We
here.
could potentially have Jeb as the head of this church.
Yeah, we could seize control.
I didn't see that happening.
Neither do I. I'd prefer Bracho.
TBH.
But I know
didn't
he
see
wouldn't
Jeb.
take it.
Maybe Everett will come and take over.
Oh yeah! Oh, that'd be so good.
That'd be awesome.
Install him as a
I'd definitely
pawn.
push for that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We can set him up with some decent research quarters down in the basement here.
That's true.
He'd love a bit of extra space if he's allowed to move into the town square, but yeah, that was fun. That was really cool. Big old showdown in the end. I really thought I planned for showdown, and then you were this close to escaping, and I'm like, well, you fucked my plans again. And then Gerard saves the day from my perspective and gets you back into the conflict.
Yeah.
Well, it was at a point where he was suspicious of me, suspicious of Jeb.
But
And I
Bracho saved the day with that roll, like with that epic persuade. He was gonna have to see Jeb go out as a hostage, but that notwithstanding, he trusted Bracho. So
Yeah,
but
I
still,
yeah.
I liked it. It was fun.
It was conflictory. I have conflicted emotions.
You enjoyed it because it was fun, but you're pissed off that we didn't get out.
Yeah,
you-
yeah. Basically. So,
Look, you may get out with more than you bargained for though, because now you can take the scroll and the lockbox without any real fuss, instead of having to come back to get it or whatever else have you. So, in the end, you may work out okay.
That's what I'm hoping for.
But there you have it. So, unless there's any other parting words, we'll just call it an evening, I suppose.
Let's do it.
do we want to go through any XP or anything like that?
Yes, thank you so much. You did remind me. So I owe you all 2 experience from last week that I didn't issue to you. And for this session, you'll grab 2 experience as well. So 4 experience total for everyone,
So
6.
we're up to 6.
which means you should level up,
Oh yes.
I believe. I'm just going to double check.
We'll be seasoned, like a roast chicken.
You won't be seasoned, no.
Oh.
There are levels that are in between ranks. Seasoned is when you have 20 experience.
Jesus.
I don't like that.
So if we're doing like 2 XP per game,
Mhm.
yeah. To me, that seems a bit arbitrary.
Well, it kind of is. If we had wrapped all this up, like you get 3 experience for like major plot conclusions, as it were. Two experience is kind of the average, or as suggested by the book to deal out on a session by session basis. Yeah, here we go. Every 5 points accumulated grants a hero an advance, and advance lets the character do one of the following, which we can do next session or between sessions if you like. 20 experience, you become seasoned.
So can you just quickly talk through what the advance means?
So yeah, advance is basically leveling up. So an advance lets you do one of the following: gain a new edge, increase a skill that is equal to or greater than its linked attribute by 1 die type, increase 2 skills that are lower than their linked attributes by 1 die type each, buy a new skill at D4, or increase an attribute by a die type. So there's a few options. Page 44 on the PDF if you guys have it handy.
Mm-hmm.
The advancement area.
Sounds like I'm getting myself a new edge.
Yeah, you could.
It has a note here that you can only increase one attribute by a die type once per rank. So if you do it now, you can't do it again until you're seasoned.
Correct. But that's a fairly significant thing to increase because, like, you can boost your strength to D10, which means you can then, in subsequent levels, more cheaply increase all your linked skills
Yeah.
down the track. So, yeah.
No trait may be A's above a D12.
Where does it say that?
Directly above it, below the star note about the increase one attribute by
No trait
die
may be
type.
raised above a D12, but see the professional and expert legendary edges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool beans. So yeah, well, you can either, if you guys have the time to do that between sessions, feel free. Otherwise, at the start of next session, I'm happy to take you through the level up process, which is not that complicated, but
Cool.
if we want to make a show of it on camera.
Spells are edges, aren't they? Pretty sure. No, they're powers.
They're just powers, yeah.
2 skills. Oh,
I
no,
can't remember how many spells you can have, though. I don't know if it's even limited.
Ooh. Try.
Do you remember where there was a limit to how many spells you could choose?
I thought it was tied to edges somehow.
The amount of power points you have is tied to edges. But I don't know if the amount of spells is tied to edges. I think it's just linked to like your rank, novice or whatever, seasoned, etc.
I see what you mean.
Actually, here we go. There is a power edge. New power. An arcane character may learn a new power by choosing this edge. So you're right, it is. So new power is an edge, or power points is an edge. That's page 39 of the PDF.
Cool. I'm gonna see about me getting me a new power.
Nice.
Maybe some sort of direct attack instead of an AoE, something with some high damage.
There's some single target stuff, or maybe some debuff stuff. Feel free to get creative.
Maybe like mute mouth, where I can just force shutting up on people.
That wouldn't have helped you in that situation
No.
because I attacked with no mouth.
I just want to put it on. No. Good.
Oh god.
Just being
So good.
salty. Just being salty.
Oh my god, so salty.
Oh.
Dessert, please. Okay, are we good? Should I
Yes.
sign
I
it
believe
off?
so.
Yes.
I think so.
Alright, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning in. For those of you that did, this will be on YouTube in the coming days. Make sure to tune in and check it out there if there's anything you missed. Otherwise, tweet at us at Roll for Perception during the week. Discord is also down below if you want to come have a chat to us about anything you saw tonight or in other sessions. And hopefully we'll catch you next week for another session of Nova Terra.
Yay!
Cool. So unless there's anything else from anyone else, we'll call it an evening and we'll catch you all real soon.
Bye bye.
See ya!
Peace.
See you.